Good evening, welcome to the Spurs review. I'm Savva from Savva Talks Football. The guy on your bottom left is Mr. Box Office, and if you don't know, get to know. Kuva99, you all know, and Barry, you might also know as Nick, so know both of those things. Guys, how are we? Are we all good?
Yep.
Had a nice dinner today. Had a nice dinner, and I had a nice relaxing thing and speaking to someone special and just sitting there and just relaxing, really. So all good. Mr. Box Office on the wheel again, isn't it? You know what I mean? But like I said, that's all I need to say anyway. Moving on. Anyway, yeah, good to see you, Savva, man. Good to see you, Kuva, and good to see you, Barry, even though you're deluded. Anyway, moving on.
He's got 2 minutes 30 seconds. He's got the first thing in.
Wow. And bearing in mind the intro is 1 minute 45.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All I heard from all of what Alex just said there was that there might be a Mrs. Box Office on the horizon. That's all I heard. I don't know about you guys. I don't know.
Oscars. There's going to be Oscars. Little Oscars walking around in gold.
I just hope the first time they go to make love, he gets undressed and says, "If you don't know, get to know." I just Alex, do it, man. Do it. Guys, a good day today because Spurs didn't ruin it for us, right? I mean, I know that sounds awful, but that's kind of how I feel these days. Let's start with everybody in the chat. Big up to you. Starting slightly later today. Henry messaged me earlier to say that unfortunately he's not feeling too great, so there'll be no Spurs corner today. So we pushed this back a little bit later as we don't have to stop for his show. Everybody, welcome to the chat. Shamelessly, I'm going to plug, I am 3 subscribers away from the 3,500. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, and thank you for everybody's donations and time and effort for the 24-hour live stream. Barry, I'm going to start with you. Man United just got absolutely thumped by Liverpool 7-0. Liverpool have now, in their last 5, they've won 4, drawn 1, conceded 0, scored 13. Is this the moment for all the people that are so worried about fourth? Is this the moment where we realise we might not get it?
Yeah, it's not only Liverpool, right? You've got Brighton with 3 games in hand. You've got Newcastle with 2 games in hand. You've even got Brentford and Fulham sniffing around. Probably, and obviously we've got to play them both, Brentford and as well. So look, it's Brighton 3 games in hand. Plus we play them, so ineffectively they've got 4 games in hand. Look, I think the only thing that we've got left is Wednesday night, and even then, I'm kind of, I'm as Alex would call the deluded one, probably the most positive one. But yeah, I'm struggling at this point to see where it all kind of finishes. If we go out Wednesday night, even though we'll have 1 game a week, I still just think that momentum, the way that other teams are playing, it's just not in our favour.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, Kuva, do you know what? I was watching that round at my brother-in-law's. He's a Chelsea fan. I'm Spurs. And both of us sitting there saying to each other, I'd love it if my team played football like that. Do you know what I mean? Listen, we may be above them for this moment in time and maybe this season, but the way they pressed, the way they won every ball in the midfield, the energy, the passion, the intensity, their forwards looked like they were actually a forward line. It seems like it's everything opposite to us, right, at the moment.
I was going to say, just listed out a lot of words I don't recognise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cohesion.
Plan, direction. Yeah.
I'll send it to you in a WhatsApp group. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, fair enough, mate. Yeah, well, we've been saying it for weeks, haven't we? That you just keep an eye on teams like Liverpool because they are capable of getting their act together. This isn't a team that's lost like 8 or 9 of their players from last season. It's only Mane that's gone, and they struggle to get to grips with that. Guess what? Darwin is actually scoring goals despite all the criticism, isn't he? 7-0 takes some getting used to that. Under any circumstances, that is an incredible result. I think that's what Man United's joint heaviest defeat ever, isn't it? They've done a few 7-0s, but you're going back sort of 70, 80, 90 years, aren't you? I just, it's a big wake-up call to say that Liverpool team is alive. There is it's just a little bit of consistency that's been missing, but there's always been that lethal sort of goal-scoring machine there at some point that's going to surface. It must be very funny for a Liverpool fan at the moment that it happened against United of all people. But
do you know what, Cooper? I agree with you. Do you know what I said? I said from the beginning of the season, right? Look, I like Darwin Núñez. I think even when he's not scoring goals, he is a royal pain in the backside for defenders, pulling them out wide, tussling with them. He goes through the middle. He goes out wide. He gets his head on things. I think he's going to be. I think next year you'll see a much more prolific goal scorer. But him, Gakpo, that's now 4 in 8 Premier League games for him.
Yeah, Gakpo, I think looks a quality player to me.
Quality. I mean, that
he hasn't got the blistering pace of the others, but he makes up for it with just intelligence, able to find space, reads the game well, beautiful finishers. That one where he just cut inside, called it in the far corner. I thought fantastic goal, sort of thing you get used to seeing Harry Kane, Heung-min Son doing. He's got a big future there for them, I think. And they've always got players like the likes of Jota as well to compete. I mean, they just got a wealth of talent there. It was that midfield that was falling apart for them before, wasn't it? But some of the regulars back in the team, they're still going to have to find the long-term replacements of Henderson and. Sorry, go on, Barry.
I was just saying, can you imagine they had Bellingham to that in the summer?
Yeah, it's worrying. I mean, look, what I would say is this: look, cream rises. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that cream rises to the top. Whether or not they finish above us this year, I think they've got the makings of something brilliant there. Add a couple of players in. And I mean, Alex, let me come to you. When you watch them and watch us, mate, even though we're talking about, they've got no midfield, and 4 wins out of 5. The other one was a 0-0 draw. Are you worried that they're going to overtake us for top 4?
Not really, because to be honest with you, we deserve it, Savva. I don't think we're that great. I've never thought we were that great anyway. I got confused why we were bantering them. You know, I actually get even more confused that Liverpool fans were. I was getting the violin out for them because they were just feeling sorry for themselves. It's like the worst thing since sliced bread. It's like I sit there and think, you've won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I know it's disappointing because you could have won it all, and then you won the Champions League against us and won the Premier League. So you've done all 4 in the last couple of years. There's some people, don't want to say any names, but can't even win a trophy and make fun of a team that won the Carabao Cup, even though that was the last trophy that they won. Yeah. Would love to have what they have. You know, some of the stuff I've heard about Klopp from Liverpool fans, it's so disrespectful. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's like someone's he's like had an affair with one of the family members or something like that. The way they were talking about him, you know what I mean? It was literally. I was sitting there listening to some people that, to be honest, were in their nappies before they were like actually saw something great. You know what I mean? And some of them talk to you, and you talk to them and think, "Am I born yesterday or something?" You know what I mean? Yeah. Am I born yesterday? You know, and I just think for me, you know, it's worrying, but I think it just shows you again when you've got consistency, and it's just really when you've got a good thing in with the manager, you know, and people say sack the manager. I ask the question: when you've got a good thing like that and you sack him, it's good to you sacked him, you got rid of one problem. The other problem is who replaces him? Who replaces the guy? Because look what happened with us. You know what I mean? Look what happened with Manchester United when Alex Ferguson left. Mm-hmm. Look what happened with Arsenal when Arsene Wenger left. You know, it's just it just baffles me. And that's why we're football fans, and they're managers, and that's it. And Mr. Box Office talking the truth again, like always, every single time. Back to you, Savva. If you don't know, get to know.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. By the way, I just want to let everyone in the chat know that I know. I'm not one of the ones that needs to get to know. I know. All right. And I think the other two lads know as well, even though Barry's deluded. Coming to Barry now, who is deluded. Barry, let's change this up. Look, I don't obviously want to talk about Liverpool, Man United. Look, what I'm seeing a lot from YouTubers, from posts that are being sent around on Twitter and Instagram, etc., a lot of people are now starting to lose patience with Antonio Conte for results that we're seeing. And I think, look, it's, you know, I put a post out earlier saying that I blame everything at the club. I genuinely don't just think this is the manager. But, Barry, we're seeing weird substitutions. We're seeing weird players now suddenly being selected, like Lucas Moura when he's leaving. We don't try and attack when we're losing with 10 minutes to go. We don't throw the kitchen sink. We failed to score against Wolves. We failed to score against Sheffield United. We failed to score against Aston Villa. We failed to score against Forest at their ground in the Cup. Where are you on the whole Conte in, Conte out thing? And does it even matter, because is he going in the summer anyway?
It kind of like, I'm kind of, yeah, I'm with you. You can decide which bit of the pie, how much of the pie is to be blamed on Conte or the board or whoever. Yeah. You know, half of it, most of it, a smaller part of it. It's everything. It's everything from top to bottom. Does it? I mean, for me, I don't think it even matters anymore who's there. You could put a cardboard cutout there and it wouldn't make even a blind bit of difference.
Nuno.
Huh?
Nuno.
Yeah.
That is Nuno.
So horrible.
Yeah, when he stood there like this on the sideline. But look, I think unless there's a massive overhaul, which we know there's not going to be, what was the point in all of this? The point, you know, people were sat there. I was listening to it on the way back from Wolves yesterday, and we were talking about it in the car. A very, very obviously a very solemn car journey back again. But people saying, what was the point of it all? Everyone got excited when Conte signed. Everyone thought this was going to be the time we were going to change, and we just never have. So it's kind of, yeah, I think, you know, it's kind of a ticking time bomb. Whether we, you know, if we implode or put in performances or the results happen like they have done over the past week or so, will a decision be made? I don't think it makes a difference whoever comes in between now and the end of the season.
Yeah.
If that is a decision that is made. But yeah, I just don't see. It's kind of like I just don't know anymore. You know,
yeah.
We're sat with our season hinged on Wednesday night, but you then say, well, it doesn't make a difference because we're not going to win it. So
yeah, absolutely. Kuva, just quickly before I come to you, just really quickly, super chat from Steve D. Big up, Steve. Thank you very much for your commitment as always. He said Wolves changed system at half time to a wing back system and showed us how to do it. Conte totally lacks ability to change a game. Kuva, I'm going to come to you on this in a second. And Steve D, thank you. Listen, I agree. I'm told that he's not allowed to do anything else, but that's one thing. Matthew Hayden has said to me, great. And you also have people like Savva who thinks United are in a title race. I have no idea where this has come from. I have no idea when I said Man United were in a title race. But thank you for being here. Thank you.
To be fair, I did.
I did as well until I saw
never saw today's result coming in a million years.
But do you know what I say a lot, Kuva? That people, I ask a question. So I may have said, are Man United in a title race? And then people go, Savva thinks this. And I get that a lot. But listen, it's absolutely fine. Thank you for being here. Thank you for generating me revenue. Thank you for giving me watch time. I do appreciate you always, Matthew. Kuva, look, this is always what I've thrown at him. I think many have as well. And look, I think what I want to do, I want to have a conversation where it's not, I get it, right? It doesn't matter who the manager is, but for me, that shouldn't take away from Conte getting talked about. That shouldn't take away from blame being laid at his door for stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Because we understand it doesn't matter who comes in next, but every manager has taken criticism at this club. We saw it again yesterday. Wolves made the 2 changes at half-time, changed up the way they were playing, kind of stemmed the flow because we were on top in the first half, then made 2 more changes by like the 66th or 65th minute, and then went on to score the goal and win the game. While Spurs, doesn't matter how well, how bad we play, 3-4-3, 3-4-3, we don't change a thing. Is this one of the biggest issues with Conte, that we never change anything?
Yeah, without doubt. I think there's something similarities, I'll say, between him and Nuno, and that's you hear things like, "I thought we were in control of the game," or "We did well. We were dominating the half," and like, yeah, maybe possession wise or restricting the amount of attacks they are having or shots the opposition's having, but we don't do anything with it. It's pointless. It's like reeling out the Harry Winks possession stats. They can be really good. It doesn't mean he's done anything worthwhile with the ball. We are a bloody awful team to watch. We're not anymore because I don't bother watching now. Don't think I'm going to bother watching till the end of the season, if I'm honest. It's more enjoyable to do something else. It's giving up 2 hours of your time. Even if you're watching on a stream or on Sky on something, you're still giving up 2 hours that you could do something enjoyable with. This is it. It's always the same, isn't it? As we're discussing, Conte's system, wing backs, back 3, 2 holding midfielders, and the 3 up front pretty much trying to forage for themselves. That's every single game. Nothing's changed. We know what we're expecting. And then, funny enough, we don't see the signings to actually improve those bloody positions. We sign elsewhere. Desperately need 3 absolute quality central defenders. Go and sign a backup forward. We need a right wing back. Go and sign a left winger. We left wing back. Yeah, fair enough with Udogie. Couldn't get him this season. But if we're saying about backing Conte, he wanted the players immediately. Next season isn't good when he's leaving in the summer anyway.
Exactly.
So it's this, like you said, it's a mixture of things that's completely wrong with this club. But I think the fact that Paratici and Conte are here in tandem, they're helping to produce this absolutely mind-numbing football. I think if we're going to pick the football being a colourful game, we're grey. We're faded grey, tattered corners, and
the thing for me, Kuva, the thing for me is, as we said on the show last night, look, and that was more of an impromptu show. But look, one of the main things for me is so many games you can see where the wing-back system isn't working and it's being nullified. Quite simply because we don't have great wing-backs and we don't have great centre-backs and we don't have any creativity in midfield. Why does he persist with this? Now, I'm going to ask you and then go on to Alex with this. At the end of the day, right, I get it. Before anyone says to me, yes, he's won titles playing this at Juventus, at Chelsea, at Inter. But are people saying to me that he is so inflexible, Kuva, that it doesn't matter what happens, we literally just go, same thing. Even with 15 minutes to go, we're not even saying, right, get 2 centre-halves off, let's just go for it. What, is he that inflexible or proud or ignorant? What's going on?
It's very difficult to pick the times where he has changed things up. You could argue against Chelsea when we were losing it, we actually did revert to going to a 4-2-4 for a while. Yep. But how often do we not go for it? I mean, that was refreshing to see that. It really was. We didn't deserve anything out of that game, but got something. But then you look at games like Villa, away at United, god awful. Away at Forest has to go down as one of the worst performances of all time for this club. That was a shameful just to watch it. It was I don't see any imagination from the manager. It's like everything going through the club. It's machine like. It's This is the formation we want. This is the holding sort of patterns. You're going to get your defensive organisation sorted out. It's at the expense of freedom, flair, opportunity, imagination, style, all the things bloody love about football, and we get none of it. I'll keep saying it. If Kulusevski on form isn't playing, I don't even want to watch us.
Yeah, it's
literally the only reason to waste my time on this.
So let me ask you, Alex, just quickly, if one more person subscribes, I get to 3,500 subscribers, selfish plug from me. Please get over there and smash the subscribe button. I want to ask you a question, Alex. If we were playing the way we're playing now, okay, the style of football, the formation, if we were losing to Wolves, losing to Sheffield United, losing to Villa, losing to that crap Milan team, losing to Forest in the Cup, etc., losing to Leicester 4-1. If we were doing all that, and the manager of this football club right now was Tim Sherwood, Nuno, AVB, would our fans still be backing it the way they are backing Conte?
No.
So why will so many refuse to put any blame on this manager?
Because they're in headlights at the moment because they can't believe they've got a great manager like Conte. And that's it.
Is he a great manager? What about him, Alex, is great? I see a manager that goes, right, this is our formation. I'm not going to do anything else to try and win games. What's great about that?
I think he's just got that philosophy that's what he wants to do, and that's it. And he's won with it, and that's it. So he's proven in whatever he's done, wherever he's gone to in the past. So in history records, he has got trophies. He's decorated in that sense, I would say. But
Yep.
I mean, he's not my favourite. He wouldn't be someone that I was clambering for. No, I don't think any manager should survive in that sort of sense anyway, especially with the what the team want to do in the future. Definitely, we expect to be in the top four. That's what you expect. But especially with the players that we've got, and I think with that expectation, you've got to sit there and think, well, it's not good enough. Yeah, you've got to let him go. Yes, I wouldn't directly point it at him though, because at the end of the day, we went to him. Like I said before, I'm kind of repeating myself again, and like we haven't really done what he wants. He said it in multiple times in the interviews in press conferences as well. So I can't put the blame on him completely because the proof of the pudding.
Not completely, Alex.
Yeah, but everyone is.
How did Bournemouth with Gary O'Neill go to Wolves and find a way to win? Yeah, and we go there, can't score a goal.
No, you're absolutely spot on what you're saying. I blame the manager for yesterday, 100%, because he didn't make substitutions. Wolves made substitutions, and they changed the game. We were very slow. And the style of play doesn't really help it. No, but if it was winning, I would say, yeah, I would be happy with. I would take that at the moment. Yeah, I'll grit my teeth at it. Yes, but now it's not winning. Which I thought it was. I thought it was not going to win anyway because we haven't got rid of the players that we need to get rid of. I'm not saying it's just the players. It's the manager's tactics. I don't think that it doesn't fit the manager and the board, like we all know already. And so I'm just repeating myself again. But yeah, I would say yeah, he needs. We need to get rid of him. Yes, and if it was the same with the other managers, it'd be the same. Absolutely, 100%. It'll be the same if it was like attacking manager as well. But I think in some way, the situation we're in at the moment is that we wanted to win now. That's what I looked as Conte. Conte was a manager to win now. Yeah, we're not ready to win now.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
sure.
for me, you need a project manager. Okay, so that will need time. Yeah, so if we're going for a project manager doing this, and we're playing good football, and it's going towards a process, okay, and an end goal, fine. I'm happy with that. I'll bear with it because we're growing, and that's it. at the moment, when you've got players like Harry Kane, Son, Højbjerg, Kulusevski, Bentancur, all these players, Lewis, Romero, they're players that are looked as quality players that want to win now. Yeah. So if you have bad seasons like this with these sort of players, you're wasting your time, aren't you? So that's why I'm saying what your question to me right now, I say, yeah, for those sort of managers with the players that we've got now. But if you're rebuilding, I would be happy to carry on as long as we don't get relegated or we're too far gone. Because as long as we can think of a process, that's it, moving on. But at the moment, with a manager like Conte and the players we've got at the moment, no, sorry, not good enough. And that's what I'm saying.
I mean, Barry, is this project with Conte over? Are we seeing the signs of a team now that know this is coming to an end in 12 league games? He's not going to be here next year. And because of that, we're seeing, I don't want to say players downing tools, but players really not. I mean, look, I watched Everton play Forest today. And Everton have got a very, I mean, to say a bang average team, like Mr. Box Office would say, would be kind. They've got a poor team. But they were fighting for every ball, every tackle. They were driving forward. And it made me think, our players don't even do this for Conte now. Is this over? Is this him?
Sorry, Sav, there's one comment just going to bring up. I just thought it was funny.
Oh.
Show me lights recently. Man United get battered everywhere they go, and then except when they play Spurs.
Yeah, of course. Barry, are we seeing is this just winding down nicely to him riding off into the sunset and getting a job back in Italy? You're on mute.
I'm on mute. I don't know why I was on mute. Yeah, look, I think it is. But I just don't understand what we're doing. We forget things, and we can sit there and say, like, when Dan came on the stream, on the charity stream, and he was talking about similarities between Arsenal and us, and they built the stadium and everything else kind of happened. Maybe what he said, we are that 6th, 7th, 8th team, and that's where we need to stay for the next 4 years to realize, and get someone in that maybe we expect too much. Maybe we think we should be winning. Maybe we think we should be challenging for titles and honours and everything. Maybe we're all deluded and think we're going to do. Do you know what I mean?
But Barry, is that the problem? Because I think, like, when a lot of people say to me, like, I put a post out today about how I want the academy changed, the manager changed, the owners changed, director of football, all of it changed, right? People will come back to me going, you're greedy if you think that any other manager will do better than Conte in getting fourth. Now, that's not the problem, is it? Like, with Kuva and I, for example, we don't care about fourth. For me, it's about what these are seeing week in, week out. And I'm at the stage now where I wouldn't even want to win a trophy playing the way we're playing. It is mind-numbingly boring. And I'm going to nick a phrase that Kuva used ages ago. Football is a spectator sport. And spectating Tottenham at the moment is bloody painful.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, I've been to 2 games. I've got a season ticket. I've been to two home games and 2 away games. Southampton, North London derby at home. The second half, I wasn't even in the stadium because I just sat down and watched it on the screens because I had no interest in being like if I didn't have to take Bobby Kay home, I'd have probably done what Daigle did and I'd have gone at half time.
Yeah. Did Daigle go at half time?
Yeah, Daigle went at half time. Yeah.
Wow.
Then obviously I went to Man United away, which probably Hugo's best game of the season. Otherwise, that would have probably been 7-0.
Oh, that was a disgraceful.
And then Wolves yesterday, and I will probably not go again this season, unless it is to go and watch Liverpool away because it'd be great to see a team that plays football. Not
it's just great to experience what it's like at Anfield, to be honest.
Yeah, and obviously my wife supports Liverpool, so she every time she goes, Tottenham lose, right? So that will be the only time that they don't lose, when actually Tottenham go. If we all go to Liverpool, we go to Liverpool and we go and win, and she'll be gutted because Liverpool have lost, and I'll be sat there going, "This is football is mad," because it would just be Spursy to just go and, do you know what I mean? To just go and do that. I don't want to see. I don't want to see these players. I know I'll sit there and say, be positive, give time.
Barry, just quickly. So this is another one I keep seeing. So when people say how many more frigging projects, well, unfortunately, until one works, right? Because at the moment, every job is going to be a project because we're no further forward. Since Conte's joined, the football is no better than I think it was under Nuno, right? Yeah, I mean, even Nuno was win free, lose free, win free, lose free. That's what we're doing now under Antonio Conte, with better players, might I add. Players like Bentancur and Romero and Kulusevski and Basuma and Perisic, right? But we need a proper project, don't we, Barry, where bringing in Jose, bringing in Conte, for me, they're not projects. That is saying we want to win now, like Alex said, even though the players aren't good enough for that. I think we need an actual project now where fans get it into their mind that, right, forget top four. Stop talking about top four. Stop worrying about where we are in the league for a year or two. And let's worry about what are we building. But we're so fixated on fourth. If we finish fourth this year, people will go, great season. But nothing's changed. The football's awful. The recruitment's been awful. The only thing that has been consistent will be Harry Kane has got us fourth.
And crashing out of cups early.
Yeah,
and crashing out of cups early. Yep.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And also in terms of the kind of delusion, I saw a post earlier. Someone said, "Okay, cool. This is who we need to go out and sign." The list. When I read this list, you're literally going to be laughing. Emi Martinez, Bastoni, Gvardiol, Mason Mount, James Maddison. I'm literally sat here going, at what point are any of those players coming to this football club?
Of course they're not. Why would they?
That just, I think it just sums. No, I want to try. I try and be positive, because do you know what? Actually, if I'm positive and it doesn't happen, it doesn't make any difference. If I sit here being like negative and everything else, then I'll just feel even worse. But they've kind of broken me. That's what they've done. They've broken me. And I know obviously a lot of people have been broken a long time ago. But when it gets to the stage when I'm saying that we're shit, then you know it's pretty bad. Because I'm sitting here going, we're winning the FA Cup, we're going to the Champions League final, we're getting top four. I even said, I saw Matthew put in the comments, I even said, just for one was a bit of a laugh, and two to try that we're going to finish above Arsenal. I just to try and be a bit, you know what I mean? I can't even say these things anymore. We're going out Wednesday night, we're finishing 6th at best, and Sean, if you want to get the receipts and call me a flip flop, that's fine as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, Kuva, the just quickly, I was just seeing this comment. Ojam said, "Why do we feel entitled to win trophies? Look at the state of our club and lack of correct investment over years. We're not that club and need to accept reality." Ojam, I think. Look, I'm not going to talk for Alex and for Nick, but I will talk for Kuva because I know his opinion inside out. Kuva and I have said for all season, this isn't even about trophies. I don't expect us to win trophies. I just expect us to actually have a plan, and when they go on the pitch, look like they've actually trained as an 11 for the week. Look like they've actually worked on something. At the moment, we go on the pitch and it just looks like 11 blade. You know, when you're younger and played on a Sunday or a Saturday football with your mates, and you'd go there, and then after the game you go to the pub. You turn up and the manager, some bloke smoking, would go, right, John, you're right back. Tom, you didn't turn up for training Tuesday. You're on the bench. You know, that sort of thing. That's what I think when I look at Spurs. It looks so disjointed, Cougar, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to carry on with the answer to that comment, I've never demanded trophies.
No.
All I'll do with this team, I think we're a big enough team for me to demand that we at least look like we're trying to compete for the bloody trophies, not just go, oh, top four's all right, that'll do. Doesn't matter the rest of it. I think that's disgraceful. We should always be aiming to win everything we can. Of course, we're not going to win it every season. It's difficult. But what do we do so often? Throw it away on nothing games. It's infuriating. And the sort of quality of signings we buy in at such a regular basis. We're looking at top 4 Champions League team buying the likes of Sissoko, Emerson Royale. Really? Is that the quality of footballer you want at the club? Bloody hell. I think we're absolutely shambolic. We big up players that are like half-baked average players at best. Actually, Alex always says this best, isn't it? Bang average, bruv. He says it a lot, but he's damn right. It's absolute bullshit that some of the signings we make. And we go, oh, no, he's the next big thing. He's going to be, oh, look at Hill Messi. Look at, like, I'm not having to go at anybody in particular about that. It's just a general thing that's been going on for a long time at this club. I always like to bring in my old favourite, Lewis Holtby. Let's get him in early. He's brilliant. Oh, yeah,
Lewis.
I think sometimes fans will look at a player and think, oh, he looks nice, therefore he's got to be good. That's it. Brian Hill. Oh, yeah, he looks like one of the Beatles. Yeah, little pop star. Yeah, he's going to be great for us. So he's back on loan, back at the club we bought him from, and loaned back the player. You know that they ended up paying for one player, loaning the player back in the part exchange, and giving 20 million quid over to Sevilla. That is just genius. That is. I'll just give up on this club. It's absolutely pointless. We've now got a director of football that I don't even think he really knows what football is. He's just get out a load of plodders and get lucky with a couple, look in the paper, see if anybody's won an award. Oh, better sign him then. No, can't run out of ideas. Juve, have you got any players for spare, please? Because I've run out of ideas and it's the 29th of January. It's like, fucking hell. We are just bullshit. Everything's gone bad. It's somebody, I think it was Brian Daigle on a stream earlier, said that cock-a-doodle-doo or whatever it was, cockerel-doodle-doo. And he's just having a rant, basically. He said, club's rotten from top to bottom. Couldn't agree more.
But Harry Kane, look, Alex, I'm going to come to you. Harry Kane, for me, has papered over cracks. That's not what I'm going to come to you with. I think most Spurs fans would acknowledge that for years, that man has kept us going in the hunt for top 4, which so many people will see as success this year, Alex. If we finish 4th, look, I'm never going to sit here and say I don't want my club to do well. But if we finish 4th, is that just once again papering over everything wrong with this club? And is that, again, just going to give Levy the Champions League money without seeing us going and buying Champions League quality players?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely, 100%. There's nothing really more I can say, Savva, because everything I've said already. I've said it on my channel already. Alex THC, if you really want to know as well. I've said it last season. Yeah, right? When everyone was looking at me and saying, what are you talking about, Alex? We got top 4. We were brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I said we were lucky to get top 4. It's ironic because you're saying the same thing I'm saying. But I was told I was the most negative person going. But I'm not negative, am I? I'm just the main event. That's it. Because I'm just talking the truth. The professor of truth talking again. The truth again. You know what I mean? As I say, and Kuva's hit the nail on the head. It's not positive at the moment. But there's a reason why I say we're fresh, we set, we start. What I mean by that is I start looking at other content. Because as I said before, I can't do this anymore. I'll still go to the games because there is more to going to games than watch your team play. and everyone knows who goes to games know what it's all about. You know what I mean? And everyone who's a supporter who goes to the games know what it's all about. But I ain't learning nothing from this anymore. You know, I can see why people say, you know, it can be annoying sometimes and it can get you down. But then you've got to look at it and say, okay, why would I let that make me feel down? Why would I look at what made the club good and why I came to want to support Spurs in the first place? Because you can't control what's going to happen in the future, and that's it. You know, and like I say, fourth, yeah, I understood it to be important. I understood it that we could get money. I understood it can help the club, but at the end of the day, trophies is what is the be all and end all at the end of the day. And I know that it might not happen in the next couple of years because, let's be honest here, top players are leaving this club, and you know who we're talking about now, yeah. But it needs a refresh now. I'm sorry, I'm done with it. And top four is
do you accept with that though? Because you talk a lot about trophies are the be all and end all, but do you accept that for trophies to be the be all and end all, we've got to stop worrying about trophies for a bit and actually build a club, build an ethos, build a strategy, build a plan, build a direction? Do you acknowledge that? Right?
Absolutely. I accept that, because the fact is, I accept now top players need to leave this club now, because it can't continue anymore. I am worried that I think we're so far gone now that people are thinking, you know, deluded, thinking because Kane's here. When Kane leaves, I'm worried it's going to go right to the floor, like Everton right now. That's what worries me, because I think he's papered up so many cracks, Harry Kane, that I think we're either going to be mid-table or fighting relegation. Because I think the league is so average right now, with teams that can beat each other at the moment, that you can find yourself from top four down to mid-table. And if you're mid-table, you're looking downwards rather than upwards. That's how much I think I'm worried at the moment.
Yeah, I think there was a time when you could justify the idea of perhaps selling Son and Kane and using the really big transfer fees to fund a rebuild and going in with a youthful sort of setup again. You could almost argue that, but that time has now gone. Their values are plummeting, and we've got so much money tied up in shit transfers that we can't get rid of now that it's out the window. We desperately need a great academy to be bringing forward players, and that's not happening either. I think we're absolutely screwed for a long time here, until all these players are off the books, and it's going to take us a long time to recover from that. By which time, top four, forget that. We are well out of that equation for a long time now.
Yeah, the only thing that's saving it is if whatever Daniel Levy's doing in Bahrain is he's trying to get the guy to buy the club, and then we just go and drop 500 million. But do you know what? I don't even think 500 million solves the situation that we're in at the moment.
But the thing is as well, Nick, the thing is as well, and I want to come to this point in 1 second, this comment, but the thing is as well, Nick, is I feel we've got to the stage as well where it was like I was saying yesterday, the fans that expect that we're just going to go and back a manager with the players he wants. I think we need to be really careful with this, because even if we were going to go and spend 500 million, like the players, I think it was you or Kuva just rattled off, those top players will have no interest in coming to Tottenham right now, because they'll see the squad we've got. They'll see that we don't win trophies. Yeah. And if they're that good, the other clubs around us in Europe, I put us in there. I put us in there because we're Champions League, not because we win things. They will gobble up these players. Like we said, James Maddison. James Maddison comes on the market and we go and bid 60 million for him, even if Leicester say yes. Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Real Madrid, whoever is going to go, James Maddison, yeah, we'll have that. English quota, great free kick taker, playmaker, scores, assists, knows the Premier League. It's a no-brainer. Won't be Spurs. So even if we went and drop 500 million, we need a manager and a director of football that can make that sense sensible. I'm not saying we're going to spend 500 million, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But goes, right, if I'm only spending 30 million on a player, have we watched and monitored this player for a year? Have we been going to watch him play regularly to know, he actually works with the style and the ethos that we want? Because I get the feeling that these other clubs do that in abundance, and we just go out and buy somebody who's fashionable at the time, right? That's my concern, Nick, with that, is that fans seem to believe that Conte was going to rock up. I don't know why. That he was going to rock up and we were going to go, there's Bastoni. Yeah, Lautaro Martinez. They're not coming to Tottenham Hotspur. We're not a big club. Sorry. I know it's horrible to say, we're not.
You're talking facts. You're talking facts.
I think when Conte first turned up, there's an argument to say he's that kind of big name that would attract big players if we put that money in. But I don't think that's going to work now. No. I think players will be looking at what's happening at this club. They'll just have to listen to the fans. Just how unhappy we are with what we're watching. It's gone. We've got to accept this harsh reality that we are not very good. And I'm utterly convinced we're going to finish 6th place. I think if we do get a restart in the summer, perhaps that's a good thing. Perhaps we might get in some sort of fresh impetus, getting some young players, start doing a proper rebuild rather than the promised one that, never usually happens. It's just a bit of duct tape and some bit of spit to try and hold things together. And I do mean spit. We could at least be in the Europa League and say, there's a trophy we could possibly win, rather than constant, let's get top 4, because being in there is all that matters, even though we got no chance in hell of winning it. What's the point in that? I actually do want to win things. Most people do. But unrealistic goals at this club at the moment. We've got to build something worthwhile to start with. We had our opportunity under Pochettino and just let it go. Just refused to push on from that point. Massive mistake. And now, it even gets defended by people saying, attacking football didn't work. Well, this is the alternative. How's this working?
I saw something in the chat earlier. Cooper, where someone said, number 1 trophies, number 2 playing style. And I thought, well, hang on. This playing style at the moment isn't winning trophies either. It's not like we can all sit here and go, do you know what? I hate the football, but to be fair to the bloke, he's made 2 cup finals, right? At the moment, I'm sitting here going, I hate the football. And to be fair, the bloke keeps getting knocked out by anybody. Like, lesser teams must be praying they can draw Tottenham Hotspur in the cup. Yeah. Because
I think Marine will be fancying another crack at us next season.
Yes. Unbelievable. Just quickly, I want to got another super chat from Steve D. Again, all these people saying that it wasn't Conte's fault, but Wolves and Sheffield United have better players. Of course they don't, Steve. You and I know that, mate, but it's the excuse to hang on to Conte. Chike, big up, my friend. I hope you're well. Has said, hi, Savva. What do you do in your spare time? Because it looks like Spurs aren't going to do much with Enoch and Levy there. I don't know how to answer that question, to be honest. What do I do in my spare time? I'm either working or YouTubing, my friend. So this is my spare time. Are you suggesting I should take over at the club? I think I'd love that. I'll take these 3 with me. Kuva can be
Levy can stay there, do the financial side of it. We'll just go and set in place what's needed on the. I've got to do that. What an easy job that is. You just go to some of the ex-pros, get the likes of Hoddle, Perryman, and the like in. Chrissy Houghton, people that know the club inside out, and go, there, you're my team for sorting all this out. Off you go. Then I can resign and it's all done.
Look, I'm going to take Sean with me to be my finance money man. David Harris is going to be my positive guy that goes into the changing room for the game, tells them everything's great, they're going to win. And then, I don't know, Alex, what do you want to do on a match day? How do you want to be involved in my era of running Tottenham Hotspur?
I'll go and play. I'm not really a manager, really. I'm the star attraction, isn't it? Really, that's what I say every single time.
Alex is playing up front instead of Harry
Kane.
Press
office.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick, what would you like to do? Do you want to be part of the Tottenham Hotspur revolution? What do you want to do?
Well, I can be in the ticket office.
Brilliant. I get the feeling everyone will be getting tickets quite cheap.
Yeah. No. We'll do some deals, but if there's ever tickets that need to be found, then I can normally find them. So yeah.
Fair enough.
I like one thing in the chat. I like to be a hype man. You know what? That's a good thing, man. Yeah, the stadium speaker as well. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Alex can be the guy at half time. The new Paul Coity, whatever his name was.
Listen, guys, that first imagine it average.
Dyer lets us concede a goal. That is bang average, bruv.
Yeah. And if you don't know, get to know. Back to you, referee, to start the second half. Yeah. We'll do that.
Epic.
And he's gone on to say, also, what are my thoughts on Liverpool absolutely beating the absolute shite out of Man United? I guess if you're a Liverpool fan, you're in a pub right now, somewhere near the ground, really drunk and really very happy. You've seen attacking football. And to be honest, I thought 7-0. I can't remember. I thought it flattered them. Liverpool looked like scoring every single attack. This is a comment I want us to talk about, guys. I mean, listen, I'll try and be as open-minded as possible. But perhaps the team would have been a better team without Kane. I often think that way about our national team and Ibrahimovic, and I'm not alone. I just want to... I'll go around and ask you all. For me, if Harry Kane isn't in this team, we're down where Everton are or Nottingham Forest are. I don't think it'll be better for us in any way. No. Anyone got a differing view to?
Yeah, I have. I definitely have. I think I know what he's getting at here. And I think Alex has mentioned this sort of point as well before. We've been utterly reliant on Kane. If he wasn't there, we would have had to find a way to play better football to fashion chances for players.
Would we?
We'd have to. We'd have to find a way.
But would we?
We'd have to. That's what he's asking, isn't it? That's what he's asking, isn't
it? But we wouldn't.
Yeah, but I mean, we've had Hoddle leave, we've had Gascoigne leave, we've had Bale leave. We'll find a way eventually.
Hoover, every Spurs fan, not every Spurs fan, on Wednesday night was sitting there going, can't believe Harry Kane has been dropped against Sheffield United. If we couldn't do it without Harry Kane against Sheffield United's B team, but people think there might be a way to play without him in the Premier League week in.
Yeah. Not just rip him out of the team and think it's going to be great. I mean, you're talking about building a team that isn't reliant on just
finding a way, Kuva. Yeah, finding a way.
Absolutely.
But what makes me laugh? What makes me laugh about that comment about Ibrahimovic and people saying that? Did you see that comment when he got asked about retiring? Ibrahimovic turned around to the reporter and he went, when I find someone who's better than me at football, then I'll decide when I'm going to retire. He's a legend.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. If I was to say to you that Tottenham Hotspur are going to sell Harry Kane for 120 million, just play along the game. People in the chat, don't start telling me he's not worth it. This is a hypothetical game, okay? 120 million for Harry Kane, guys. And we're going to replace with 60 million for James Maddison and 60 million for Ivan Toney. So you've now got a centre forward and a playmaker, right? And then you can have one side of Toney, Kulu the other, Maddison in the hole, 2 centre mids and a back 4. Would you take my proposal?
Yes.
I would, yeah.
Okay. What about everyone in the chat?
Planning for the future, isn't it?
I agree with you, but everybody in the chat, there's 360 of you in the chat. Yes or no? Would you accept that this summer if it meant a change in plan, a change in direction? Kane in a swap, essentially, for Maddison and Ivan Toney. Would that see us better rounded as a team in terms of we've now got a playmaker? We've now got a bloke that stays as the focal target point. Would that make us better?
I'll take Maddison. I don't know about Ivan Toney at the moment. I don't know about his attitude. I think that's my concern with him at the moment. But he's a sort of player like him. Yes, I would take him. Hypothetically, if you gave me those two players, the scenario you gave me, I would take him. Yeah, in that scenario, but I would maybe look for another player. Maybe.
But Barry, I mean, why would you accept that?
Well, because if we, we don't bite someone's hand off. He's leaving if he's not going this summer, he's going the summer after for free, right? And then we would have lost the opportunity. Also, it gives us the player that we've been crying out for, a playmaker. So there's that, and obviously then you've got something like Kuva was saying. You're thinking of the future, right? Because when Kane goes, and if it's not this year, it's next year, and again, if he signs a new deal, you kind of got to accept that he's going to break the record, but he wants to just do it at Spurs and not win anything. So then, I'm not going to call him a loser like Alex, but you've got to kind of ask about his ambition, right, to win.
I agree.
But yeah, I think it's just it just helps us. It just helps us for the future. It gives us something different, and it's kind of a no-brainer. I think everyone in the chat, it's like it's been a landslide in the chat. So yeah, I think it's a no-brainer really for me.
Kuva, are you feeling the same as what Nick just said?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm quite a big fan of Tony's. I think he's a real handful for every team. He's got that physical presence up front. That would eliminate one part would be missing with Kane goes. I think you'd have the ability to hit him in with crosses, and he's there for set pieces as well. But I think he's got a lot more to his game as well. He's a good hold-up player. He also tends to drift out wide at times, makes himself available. He's a nuisance. But when you double that up with having Maddison as well, I think that's goals and creativity behind him. I think as a more balanced team, then you'd be hoping to get the likes of Kulusevski and Sonny back on form. Could be quite a potent little setup, that one. At the moment, if something happens to Kane or he's dropped, we are not scoring, are we? That's
also, Coover, it'd help if you wanted to put a cheeky accumulator down. Ivan Toney would be able to help you.
It would, and Paratici can maybe bury it in the books somewhere.
I tell you what, the best thing I saw was a few weeks ago when they showed what Ivan Toney's name was in full, and that his initials spell out "I bet." I thought that was just absolutely brilliant. I think it's like Ivan Benjamin. Something Tony, and I was like, wow, like I
wonder if it really is though, or just somebody made that one up.
Apparently that is his name. Apparently it is. Hang on, let's have a look. Hang on one second.
Now. Ivan Benjamin,
Ivan Toney.
Elijah Toney.
Yeah, Ivan.
Brilliant.
Ivan Benjamin, Elijah Toney. I mean, you can't make. Listen, he can bet or not. I think he's a good player. I think that's the sort of player that. If you've got you couldn't just bring him into our setup because no one in our setup crosses, right? And no one in our setup creates from midfield. So I don't think a player like that works in this setup. But if we went to a 4 and had a playmaker, listen, this was a hypothetical situation. Of course, I want the defence changed. I'm just talking about swapping Kane out for other options. Look. These conversations must be going on though, right, Alex? Right now, Kane's contract is close now. We are 15 months away, 14 months away from his contract ending. I know your opinion on if he signs a new contract. I know your opinion on that, but if he says this summer that he's just going to see out his contract, do you think Levy has to, for once? Yeah, do the right thing and go, right, I'm selling him. Or do you think he's worth more to us by staying next year and grabbing 30 goals in all competitions?
I think that Daniel Levy's going to let him run his contract down and try and persuade him to stay.
Do you reckon?
I think he will do that. Because I think him going, I think he's so important to Daniel Levy so much I think it's the marketing. I think he's also going to do that with Song as well, to be honest with you, because of the marketing. His presence means a lot to the club because he's one of our homegrown players. They say he's one of our own. So for me, I think the common sense wise, you sell him in the summer, 100%, absolutely 100%. But I've
But
just
is
got
it
this.
that no one trusts the director of football and the owner to actually go and spend the money wisely? Is that what it
Exactly.
is?
It's not. It's even that. It's even that as well. But the point I'm making is just I just think he wouldn't want to sell to a rival as well, which I think unfortunately he's he's kind of forced into it because Kane's not going to go abroad. So the only way he's going to be able to go to another rival is run his contract down, and that's it. So I think Kane's going to just like say, well, okay, fair enough. I'll just run my contract down, and that's it. You know. But he'll still play well. I think he'll still play. I don't think he'll down tools, no. Even though he did kind of um, tone down tools for him, tools for Nuno a little bit. But we all know that didn't really work. You know, they weren't really getting on with each other, weren't they? But I just feel at the moment, I just got this really bad feeling. It's a bad mistake. Honestly, a bad mistake. I don't agree with it at all. But knowing what I think Levy's like, I think he's gonna try and run it to the end of his contract, and that's it.
Nick, let me come to you just quickly. Tom94, I think we'd all like Vardy out. Again, I just don't understand why any Tottenham fan thinks this is a reality for our club. This is the most sought after young centre back in the world. I fail to believe he's going to come on the market, and the only club that's going to go and offer him is Tottenham Hotspur. I'm sorry, Chelsea tried to get him before and were knocked back for was it an 85 million bid they were knocked back on?
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right. I think Madrid were going for him, Barca, United, everyone's going to go in for this lad. He is class. Nick, in a way, in a perverse way, in a complete swing from what I've just said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Everyone likes a perverse swing, don't they? Is anyone else
And even worse?
Stop, Kuva, stop. Nick, are you a little bit bored of the Son Kane era? Like, in terms of, I feel like they've been here so long. Yes, they're our focal point for everything. But because of that, just in a perverse way, it feels like we've never tried any other dynamic up there. We've always bought backup. We've always bought your Lucases, your Bergwines, your Richarlisons, your Janssens, your Llorentes, your Viniciuses. We've never mixed it up, and I don't know another club that's done that. I mean, if someone could tell me a partnership that's been together like that for 8 odd years, is that becoming a detriment to us now that it's now becoming a bit stale?
Yeah, 100%. You look at all of the club. I mean, you take Liverpool for example, and what they doing. Firmino, Salah. They've got so much talent up front, and we always tend to just stick with one or two, and then the people that we're buying have to come. No one's going to come on the bench. No one's going to sign. I mean, apart from unless Richarlison was promised he was going to be, the future after Kane goes. No one's going to come to just sit on the bench. These players want to play football. Like we were saying, they've got a short career. They want to get as much out of it as possible, get as much money out of it as possible. And I just don't. Yeah, I mean, look, they've got the record, great, but I think again that's kind of masked. Everyone will sit there and go, "Oh, well, look at everyone look at everyone that they've gone ahead of." Well, yeah, but most of those players didn't stay at those clubs as long as Son and Kane did. They moved on, or they moved on. They went and won things. They changed. They improved themselves. Yeah, I just don't see. Yeah, it's always been that way. We always hang on too long. If Kane had the ambition to win things, like someone said in the chat, he should have gone 3 or 4 years ago when he was in when he was in his real prime. But what is he? what has he done? Son, I think you're right in terms of what you were saying. Son in particular is there from a marketing point of view and a sponsorship point of view, and everything else. Look, we're not taking anything away from them being great players. We're not sitting here saying that they're washed and everything else, but it's just got a bit stale. It needs a change. It needs someone to come. If we take Emerson Royale as a perfect example, right? He had no competition and he knew he was playing every week. He didn't need to play well. The moments Porro's come in, he's upped his game. Kane doesn't need to up his game. Son doesn't need to up his game because realistically they're playing every week. And that's the thing. Yeah. They've got too comfortable. And yesterday, like we mentioned on the show, Kane would, Porro's. I don't remember the last time. Probably Ericsson was the last time we hit a good free kick. Yeah. And then Kane goes and takes the ball off him because after he's hit the bar. And then what did Kane do? Hits into the wall.
Baffling that.
You're literally like, what the hell is going on? So
somebody needs to just sit Harry Kane down and do a replay of every free kick he's taken. Just show him them.
I agree completely. Look, listen, by the way, I'm not sitting here and trying to sell off all our best players. I just feel like as a football fan, I've become so bored with Tottenham Hotspur now. And like we said the other day, Kuva, don't get me wrong, the Kane-Son partnership where people are saying, oh my God, it's the most, what they're the record, aren't they, for the most goals and assists combined together. That's great, but can you, I'd love to see a stat of how many years the other partnerships that are close to them actually played together. So for me, it's almost a meaningless kind of stat. For example, if Shearer and Sutton had played together for 8 seasons back then, they beat it. The same thing with Gerrard and Torres, I'm sure were up there for goals. Again, how many seasons did Gerrard and Torres play together? That type of thing. But I'm not knocking them for that. I'm just saying, Coover, I'd like to see a different dynamic now. I'd like to see a dynamic where our centre-forward plays as a centre-forward. I would like to see a dynamic where we actually have a midfielder that does what Kane drops and does.
It's changed. It's changed naturally now, hasn't it? Sonny doesn't score goals anymore. That's it.
Yeah.
For me, I think the way we play now, he's not going to be getting that goal scoring habit back again. Not under this manager. I think. With my biggest fear now for the immediate future is Paratici still going to be here after Conte is. Right. We'll have yet another Nuno coming in.
You've stolen my next subject. You've stolen it. I was literally going to say to you, no.
I'll take it back.
Right. No.
I think Paratici's doing a bang-up job and we should be fine.
Well, funny you should say that, Kuva, because what I was going to ask you was this. Look, Kuva, on a serious note, that is the worry for me, right? Only me personally, and I'm sure maybe you and people in the chat can let us know what they think. We like to get the chat involved. My worry is that with Paratici here, that we're going to see more of the same when Conte goes. I've got this feeling now we're going to look at this 3-4-3 for the foreseeable, and we're going to keep signing the type of players we've seen under Paratici. This worries me. Worries me so much.
Yeah, even better is the fact that Paratici can't operate in Italy. I don't think he knows where other countries are on a map. Yeah. So where's he going to get any managers or players from?
You think he goes to the airport and knows exactly which terminal he's going to, which check-in place? He'll
be ringing up the nearest sort of Italian restaurant, so see if the pizza delivery bloke's got any ideas. I don't know where we're going with. It's ridiculous. All the things put together at this club. We say it in a sort of tongue-in-cheek way. It's a circus, but no. I think we really do deserve this tag. Joke club, isn't it? I mean, we got manager that's going to leave, not signing a new contract. That half the fans are back into the hilt and want to see him stay in, even though there's nothing to suggest he will.
Yeah.
Director of football that keeps signing manager after manager that plays pragmatic football. Yeah, we're hoping we're going to get somebody that plays something worth watching. And then he's got himself banned from plying his trade in the only country he knows, and anything about on earth. Then we got the chairman that's been signing all the checks for all these players that we can't sell. So there's a big backlog of them that we haven't paid for yet, which means we've got no funds for transfers, even if we found a country that Paratici knows where a player is, which is going to take a while. And then we've got some of our best players are starting to age now. We're talking about they need replacing at some point, and our backup is the Brazilian number 9 for Kane, who hasn't scored a league goal. We're in a great state to go forward, aren't we? It's really stupid what's going on. Paratici has become a problem. He really has. I think he's coming to the fore more and more now, because ultimately there's only so much Conte can do. Paratici has more power over what happens with this club than he does.
Of course.
He literally can shape the future. So if we're stuck with him, we're going nowhere. Hopefully he gets banged up with some more charges. That'll help.
Sorry, I was laughing just because somebody just sent me a YouTube from a fake account called Richard Savva. And it says, "Hi, Richard Savva. It's your dead dad here. I hope you're well on Earth, son." I mean,
What?
welcome to YouTube. I mean, that's just wonderful, isn't it? So, hello, Dad. Nice to see you. And put in a super chat. That would be nice for all the pocket money I missed out on. Just, wow. Just anyone who ever thinks that when you YouTube, this is the sort of shit and hate you get. Anyway, sorry. It threw me for a minute there, guys. That threw me. I really thought it was my dad. I did. I really genuinely believed it was. And it's not. Look, this Kuva, on a serious note, this is the problem. And Alex, I'll come to you with this. This whole Paratici thing, not being able to operate in Italy. Let's have a look at his best signings to date. Right? His best signings to date have been Romero, not in any particular order, but Romero, Bentancur, and Kulusevski. For me, I don't think anyone else has done anything where I go, good signing. Unless anyone can tell me. Can you put another name in the hat? 17 signings he's made.
Oh, Galini, magic.
Galini, but hang on. From Italy.
Actually, one of the best signings he's made has probably been Forster. He's an okay backup.
Forster.
Was true. He's been okay.
Listen, I agree with you, but this is the funny thing, right? I mean, Alex, where other than those three, that's where he is not allowed to operate now. Even if you look at, for me, the best young player he's signed, he's not played for Spurs yet. Udogie, who looks pretty good, probably will be terrible when he actually puts on a Spurs shirt. He's from Italy as well. The guy's not allowed to operate there. What is he going to do? What are we doing moving forward with Paratici?
Oh, really? I don't know really what we're going to do with Don Paratici. But it's cooking something. Yeah, cooking something like, you know what I mean? Because like he's not cooking anything, isn't he? Yeah? Let's undo the whole thing about the myth, the magic of Paratici. And I know this is another episode of the Mr. Botsov Unleashed again, but it's like, again, let's talk about Kulu and Bentancur. Again, where do they come from? Juventus. And where did Paratici come from? Oh, yeah, but Juventus. Rejects. Again, that's all I need to say. Rejects. Again,
and by the way,
got
Alex,
lucky. Got lucky.
Kulu gets talked about like he's the second coming. I've been well disappointed with Kulusevski for a long time. Really disappointed. Like when people, every time like people do a combined Spurs Arsenal team, I see all these fans going, "Oh, Kulu over Saka," and I'm thinking, I watch Arsenal every game, right? But not every game. Whenever they're on, I watch Arsenal. Saka to me looks like he's one of their better players every single game. But yet we laud over Kulu because of what he came in and done last year. So even then, I think we're going over the top, Alex, about the players he's brought in.
Well, no one knew about him, though, Savva. No one knew about him.
Well, only people that didn't watch Italian football.
I know, but no, the point is, he came into the Premier League unknown. Bentancur came into the Premier League unknown. Yeah, we got lucky with them.
I hear
We
you.
got absolutely lucky with them. Yeah. Okay, they had an impact, but again, I still say the same thing. Again, I'm repeating myself again, but again, Kane and Son were all fit last season. If you had Moira and Bergwijn in that team, other than Kane and Son, would you be saying that right now? We'll do montages, brilliant montages saying, oh, we've got Kulusevski, oh, we've got Kane, oh, we've got Son, oh, it's so beautiful, it's so nice, it's so neat, it's so, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I can't stand it, what? Really? Honestly, that's why. And then everyone was jumping up and down. We've got top four. Oh my gosh. Oh, we've got magic. We've got absolute magic. Oh, Kulu, you're so good. You're better than Saka. You're better than Saka. You can't come to me, Saka. You can't come to me, Saka. What is he doing now, bro? What is he actually doing now? Where's Bentancur? Okay, I can't really go there because he's injured and we hope he gets better soon. Yeah? He's been good. He's been good. Yeah?
Yep.
He's a standard midfielder. Lampard, Gerrard do it every single week. Yeah? Yes, he's won championship at Juventus. Well done. Well done. Yeah, but now you've got to do it for Tottenham now. Yeah? And he gets his place in Tottenham at the moment. Romero is okay. He's good. He's got some skills and he's good. He looks good. He banters defenders like last year, yeah? But this season, he's been a disappointment. He's been a disappointment. Yeah, he won the World Cup. He's come back. He's been okay, but he still needs He needs a leader to sort him out, though. Absolutely, 100%. Sarr, okay. Gill, rubbish. He's back his bane at the moment, so that sums it all up, isn't it? Yeah. Udogie, don't know. He looks good, but again, it's a mess. All we got Paratici for, because Daniel Levy looked at him and thought, yeah, he's my guy. This is my guy. Because he's doing the same thing that I do. He acts the way I do. You know what I mean? When he's completely the opposite. It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm sorry. I didn't like him ever since he tried to get Gattuso at my club. As soon as he tried to get Gattuso at my club, I was like, I'm done with you, bro. I'm done with you. I'm sorry. Then he got Nuno in. I'm done. I'm done with him, bruv. And people are coming for me saying to me, oh, why you not give Paratici a chance? You don't know nothing about football. What you saying now, bro? What you saying now? Nothing. Absolute nothing. And that's it. And that's all I need to say. If you don't know, get to know. Back to you, Savva. Because I've released and said everything I need to say. The man. That's it. Done.
Yeah, I mean...
I've got to add to that Kulusevski bit because, last season, wasn't it? That's why I had to caveat earlier. I was saying the only reason I bother to watch us now is if there's an on-form Kulusevski player.
On form, yeah.
He is not on form, is he? He's a shadow of what he was last season. Last season was really exciting stuff, we thought. I think the hype was worth it last season. He was really good to watch. But
then isn't that a worry, Hoover? You've got Son, I think has got 5 Premier League goals. 3 of them came in one game. The other was against Palace, and the other one was against anyone? Palace, Leicester,
whatever.
Anyone. He's got 5 goals, right? You've got Kulusevski who scored 2 goals on the other side. You've got Richarlison, whilst not the best, and whilst I didn't want him anyway, at least got 13, 14 goals for Everton last year. Has played 20-odd games for us, can't hit a barn door with a banjo. Again, at what point do you have to look and go, why can Conte not get a tune out of any of these attacking players? None of them. Perisic, here you go, I'm actually going to have a look. When did Perisic, guys, last have a season? Now, I'm aware it's not over yet, but when did Perisic last have a season where he didn't score a goal? Bear with me 1 second. Ivan Perisic, where are you? Ivan Perisic, right?
1932.
Ivan Perisic has scored goals in every single one of his last 25 seasons because he's about 50. Again, Ivan Perisic, 25 games in the league for us, can't score. Yeah? I think Royal's got 2 from right wing back. Kulu's got 2.
Great player, that's why.
Son's got 5, right? Again, Kane holding this together. Why can't he get the best out of any of these forward players? I keep hearing the blame on the defence, but what about going forward? Why can none of these forwards score goals?
There is the argument to be made that it's a team sport, and if you're not playing well with good players at the back, it does affect the forward play. It definitely does, because if you have the likes of Vertonghen and Toby alongside him playing central defence, wouldn't look the same when we're coming out with the ball. But
what about when we're attacking?
But it all goes together. So that's part of it, but it's not all of it. I mean, I cannot possibly sit here and say that I don't think the likes of someone like a Redknapp ghosts into the club, that we're not going to suddenly start playing football and creating more chances, because I think we will. I think we'll be. I think we would play with a more attacking intent, more flair to the game, more creative freedom. That's what seems. It's everything strangled, isn't it? I think.
I'll ask you a question. If Jurgen Klopp had these forwards that we've got, right? Are you telling me that we'd be sitting in our Kulu would have 2, some would have 5?
No.
I'm just using him as an example. I even though Liverpool haven't been great, all of his forwards score goals. All of them share the goals around. You look, Darwin Núñez, I think, has got 9 league goals. Salah's got 9 or 10 league goals. Gakpo's got 4 in 8. I think Firmino's got 8 or 9 league goals. Yotta's only just come back from a long-term injury, and Diaz has been out for about 4 months now. But they all score goals. I don't understand what has happened so drastically, Kuva, over the summer, that now none of these players seem to be in form. And we can blame the defence, but we had this defence last year, right? Arguably a worse defence last year, right? Because last year we didn't have Porro or Perisic or Longley, right? Arguably worse defence last year, but going forward, those 3 were flying. This year they can't do anything. It just seems lackluster.
Yeah, that's all there is to it. I mean, what is it? Drained of enthusiasm, the players are. They're scared to make mistakes, maybe. Perhaps they don't feel comfortable unless they're doing their sort of quota on workload for the defensive side of the game. Who knows? There's something going on. It's catches with every player now, doesn't it? You look at Son's. The interesting things, look at things like Son's heat map for the season. It's suddenly dropped back further and further this season compared to last. We're playing a slightly different way, and it's a more negative way. I think it's just
like you would have thought the way. Do you know? If you remember, guys, I'll bring Alex and Nick in here as well. If you remember the last half of last season, where look. Again, I always caveat this. It wasn't all roses like everyone makes it out to be. There were some terrible results in there, like Burnley away, Brighton at home, Middlesbrough, Moura, that sort of thing. But in the main, the second half of last season, there were games where we were counter-attacking teams, flying at teams, and the link-up play between Son, Kane and Kulusevski was delightful. Then everyone said, oh, you wait until Conte has this lot for a pre-season and drills in his way of playing football into them, right? And it almost feels like, well, they're now worse now that they've got his way of playing football into them. And I don't even think that's being harsh. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know what that is, but that's what I'm seeing, guys. What do you think, Alex? Sorry, go to Alex.
Well, just because very quickly, even with basically the same players from last season, the results are worse, aren't they? Just what you're watching, the football's worse, awful. The results are worse. Awful. So you can't just say it's just new players that have changed it.
I think it's just a case of he needed the players that he needed for his system, top players for his system, and I think it's just come it's just come under the radar now that he's coming into the radar now that unfortunately he's just not right for our club at the end of the day. And again, I can't put the whole blame on Conte at the end of the day, because he knows he's only going to do what he knows, and that's it, Of
course, but he's paid 15 to 20 million pound a year, Alex. Right? If I'm being paid, I'm not. If I'm paid 250 grand a year by my company, I'm not. Right? And then
you paid more.
I paid more, exactly. If I'm paid 250 grand a year as a project manager, and then I turn around to my boss and go, all these projects, I can't manage them. He's going to go, well, hang on. You're the project manager. I'm paying. This guy's paid, I don't know, I say 15 to 20. Some people say it's 20. Some people say it's 18. Let's lowball him. He's paid £15 million a year, Alex. And he's paid £15 million a year to put them out in the same formation, the same style, every single game, because he knows that half the fan base will just go, it was Dyer and Sanchez's fault. Even when Dyer and Sanchez don't play like yesterday, it was Dyer and Sanchez's fault.
I mean, I get what you're saying, Savva, but the fact is, we're talking about football now, isn't it? And I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but the guy has got his detractors, but he's got his people that know what he's all about in the day, and he's won trophies. So he's looking at it like this. Like I said, he's you wanted me, you wanted me. I didn't want you in the first place. You came to me twice, so you wanted me for a reason. You know what I mean? So for me, I can sit here and say, well, okay, it doesn't work out for me, but I can go and get somebody else. I can go to another club, and I'll be sought after anyway.
Well,
like
really?
Mourinho.
Hang on. Well, here you go. Let me ask. Let me ask Barry. I'll come back to you, Alex, in a second.
Yeah, cool.
I always ask this question: where does Antonio Conte go? Which huge club takes Antonio Conte with the way he plays football?
Go back to Italy.
Right, because Real Madrid are not playing that style of football. Barcelona are not playing that. PSG fans would have him out. Oh, they absolutely hate it. Bayern Munich would never adopt that style of football. United, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, none of them will play that style of football. So where does this guy go if it's not one of the I don't know what that means. If it's not one of the Italian clubs, where does he go?
Well, he could go Atletico Madrid, could be.
Okay.
There'll be a club out there that would want Conte, and they'll do what he wants. You see what I'm saying? Because I think they'll look at it and say, well, at least he's got a strategy and what he wants to do, and it's worked before. Now, whether that's going to continue or it's going to be old, it's going to get old, his style, and to a point where, it's not going to work anymore and people have already found him out, I don't know. But he's not going to change. He's a stubborn manager. Stubborn managers don't, winning managers don't change. You know what I mean? They do change in some way when they get different assistants or anything like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think for me, I don't think a winning manager I don't think a winning manager ever changes really for me. I think they'll stick to it and that's it for me. And
You're right.
Hang on. Okay, let's ask that question then. Do they? Because when I watch Pep Guardiola, that guy is constantly evolving. You look the other day, they went to a 3-2-4-1. Right? 3-2-4-1. Mm-hmm. Next game, he'll go to a 4-3-3. Game after that, he's got wing backs. So when we're saying no manager evolves and changes, you just said it. You said it yourself, Barry. The Wolves manager at half time. What did he do? He changed his formation, right?
Ferguson and Mourinho, they both didn't mind changing it up mid-game, even halfway through the first half. Both of them prepared to make substitutes and really change the game.
Yeah, I think there's someone that changes. I think what Alex is trying to say is someone they won't change their philosophy. They'll go by what they've done. I know Pep will change it maybe game to game and experiment, but he's got so much talent in that team that he can do that. We don't have that, and I don't think we'll ever have that where we can look. We tried to change it up the other day. We brought Lucas Moura on. I mean, and took Pedro Porro off, who was we tried to. We could see that the Wolves were were on the attack and they were going to potentially get that goal. We then take an attacking wing back off to put a defensive wing back off, but it doesn't make a blind bit of difference because we can't defend, and our goalkeeper pushes it out into the middle of the goal.
But Barry, I'm not talking about dropping one player for another here. I'm talking about these managers try things. Like they try things. The Wolves manager literally went from what they played. They started a 4-2-3-1, and then the second half went to a wing back formation. And I thought to myself, fair play to you. Because like at Leicester City, when we were hammered in that we were awful in that first half. You come out second half, you're thinking, right, change something. Nope. We're going to play wing backs with the same personnel. And this is what I mean by change things up, guys, is if Wolves can do it, and look at Wolves' squad, they got some good players, but they've got nowhere near what we've got. If they can do it, why can't we? I just don't get it. I'm just baffled by it, is all.
I mean, I think one thing I will say is, okay, when you had Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the best managers in the modern era, right? He changed because he changed his backroom staff with different eras, didn't he? To change up when he found that it's going stale with what he had already, he changed things up. Sometimes it was natural in certain ways, but there were certain times that it was just a decision to be made, basically. Now, I think this era of managers at the moment are not so long term like the managers like Arsene Wenger, the Sir Alex Ferguson, because they've got a certain way of style, really, and I think they don't change. They might change it to advance it a little bit to fit what's going on at the moment, but they're more like coaches now. I think for me, they're not managers. You know what I mean? Because I think the era beforehand was more managers. You know, but you had coaches below them trying to do the coaching and stuff like that, and that's it. I think you've got more like coaches now. You know, where they're doing the coaching. You see what I'm saying? And then they have the director of football above them, and that's it. You know, like in the foreign, in abroad, before in those eras, it was more coaches. You know what I mean? You're having the era of more coaches now rather than managers, and that's it. I think that's why you're seeing what you're seeing at the moment with the likes of Conte. He ain't going to change because he's won like that already, and he's not going to change at all for all that. He might advance it a little bit. You might look at things and thinking, "Oh, I could improve that way, and this way, and that's it." But I don't think he's going to do. I don't think he's that sort of. I don't think it's going to be that like so far that much, if you know what I mean. And that's it, really.
No, I hear you. I mean, look, Kuva, what's your opinions on this as to, why can Wolves mix it up and we can't? I understand when people are saying we haven't got this world-class bench, but there's enough players on there that you can mix it up. He could have taken a centre-half off yesterday, put on Sarr in midfield and taken off, put Danjuma on for 45 minutes and tried to get a spark somehow, couldn't he? Couldn't he have done something?
Yeah, I think it sort of ties in with what he said a while ago with, we could play like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 or whatever. But when you're playing two centre-backs, they have to have the certain mindset. They have to certain attributes. So I think his view of the team is very stubborn. He's got a very set view of what players can do. And I don't think he's going to sort of trust them to do something that he hasn't got in his mind how they're supposed to be playing. It is stubbornness for me. I think it's to the point where it's almost ridiculous. The fact we can go so long in a game before a substitution's made is just it's baffling. And then to talk the next game about lacked energy, isn't that a bit of an obvious one? Then you change things up earlier, put fresh legs on.
Someone mentioned earlier, Kuva, that and Barry, you were there, that apparently the Wolves manager made 5 changes before we'd made our first one. I think it was definitely 4. It was definitely
they made all of them by the 63rd minute or something.
Like, again, a manager look, this is a guy, I mean, Lopetegui's a good manager, right? For me, he's done good things where he's been. But again, wants to change things up, wants to refresh. It doesn't seem to matter what happens in a game, guys. I can't think of too many early substitutions Spurs make or half-time substitutions. It feels
or even when they do make the substitutions, it's like for like. Even when we're chasing a game, it makes no sense. I can't think of any other manager that does that. It's usually you go 1-0 down with 10 minutes to play, take a gamble, throw one of your big lads up from the back, bring an extra forward on, something like that. You're supposed to be trying to get something out of the game. So many times you see Conte, it's like an exercise in damage limitation or something. I mean, perhaps that is the secret to how he wins the league titles. It's because he's determined to get, cut down the goal difference at all times if it gets tight or something like that. And if he thinks the game's lost at 1-0 down or 2-0 down, he'll just make sure it stays at that and doesn't get worse. Perhaps that's a part of the key to his success, but I don't think it works with us. We got fourth last season. That was an actual achievement for him, to be fair, because I don't think a lot of us saw that really happening. So it was a good run there, but the fun's over, isn't it? It's well and truly over this season. None of that form from last season's carried over. We were saying it at the start. I remember so many shows we were saying the same thing. This league position is not sustainable. And sure enough, it isn't. And guess what? The fourth place we're in at the moment, same thing. We are going to drop further. I'm absolutely 100% convinced of it.
On next game, Coover is Nottingham Forest at home, right? After we play Milan in the week. Look, again, I don't want to see any excuses. This is Nottingham Forest. Yeah, they've spent a lot of money, but they've literally turned into one of those teams, and fair play to them, but they've turned into one of them teams that have just gone and bought anything and everything, but no one of any real quality. If they come to our ground and we don't beat them, I can't be seeing more excuses for Conte, guys, as to why we've not managed to beat Nottingham Forest. Surely we will, Alex, won't we? Surely we'll beat Nottingham Forest at home.
I think we will I think we will. Ironically, I'm not going to that. Well, I just don't think I can take another game of seeing Dyer pass, to be honest with you. That's why I can't do it anymore. But just like I think the problem with that game is that they're fighting relegation at the moment, and I don't know whether we should get through the game. I think again the strikers will pull through. I think, but I just you just never know. You never know really with that one, isn't it? Really, but I watched them today against Everton. I just feel we should beat them easily. We should beat them easily, but if you give him a chance, that Johnson can score a goal. That Johnson can definitely score a goal.
Player,
yeah, he can score a goal, definitely. But yeah, I think we should win. We should win, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's going to be down to our strikers. It will be down to our strikers 100%. You know what I mean? And I do not want to see. I'd like to see Poro again. Because I think I like Puro. I do like him. I for some reason I like the fact that he tries to attack, and at least you can see what he's trying to do. I can see what he's trying to do, and I think it's just because of the whole thing with the transfer debacle. I think it hasn't really helped him. It hasn't helped him at all. I think he's come in with all that expectation, and then what happened against Leicester? What happened? And I think he's now trying to redeem himself. When I don't think it really was his fault, if you know what I mean. Yes, he didn't play well, but I think it's just the whole expectation. He had to play in that game for me because I think he needed it. I think we needed that anyway because of the pressure that he was put under and the fact that Conte is leaving at the end of the season as well. But yeah, I hope he does play, and that's it really for me. But yeah, I think we should win. So to answer your question, so you think we should win? Yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, Barry, someone's just pointed out in the chat that Nottingham Forest have the worst away record in the Premier League.
Hello,
Dr. Tottenham springs to mind. One thing I also want to see, like Alex just mentioned, it might have been Coover, I don't know. They look very similar. I get confused. Porro, right? Porro as the attacking wing back at home against a team in a relegation battle. That is what I want to see. You just know, don't you? You just know Emerson Royal, the defensive wing back, is going to start. That for me will just be completely Tottenham Hotspur. What do you make of it?
Well, I think the way that I've said it before. I think the way that Kulu's been playing at the moment, I'd play Porro for Kulu and put Emerson at right wing back, or put Emerson at left wing back and Porro at right wing back, because there's no one's great on that left hand side. There's no way we're going to go with obviously with Paratici we can't, or Davis, all of these players that just aren't good enough. So yeah, I mean, you're right. It probably wouldn't surprise you. We'll probably end up playing. God knows, we'll probably end up playing bloody Sanchez instead of Romero or something stupid like as well. Do you know what I mean? Just to add salt in the wounds.
Yeah, I mean, Kuva, what would you keep Porro in now? I know Royal was doing better, and as me and Alex always say, yeah, he was doing better, but let's not go overboard. Is it now we've seen Royal Porro start 2 back-to-back games? Would you keep him in now between now and the end of the season?
Hell yeah. I'll pick anybody that's going to try and play attacking football.
Will he against Leao of Milan? Will he at home on Wednesday against Leao?
Oh no, God no! It'll be Emerson Royale again.
Right. Okay.
We'll go to a really unlucky 0-0. That's what I'm predicting. You know, that really unlucky one where we're still chasing the goal with 10 minutes to go.
But that's right. That's right though. We should play, I think, Emerson on Wednesday because we don't want to. I think Porro isn't great defensively, and Leao will have him on toast.
I put Emerson as a right centre back. That's his position. That's what he should be. Right centre back. He's not a wing back.
Alex.
He's not a centre back. I'm sorry. I'm
Porro, Royal, Romero.
Yeah.
Longley or Davis.
Yeah. That's what
I think we have found the way to play Emerson though. It's that with that inverted wing back, isn't it? It's the he needs to bomb forward, get into the middle of the park with the instruction of destroy all football. That he can do without doubt for both sides all game long. That's what he needs to do. Just mess up their ability to play anything.
Class teams will find that out, Cooper. Sorry to interrupt you, but class teams will find that out easily. Sorry.
That's his only purpose for me, though.
It's just so annoying. It is so annoying. I'm not trying to. I haven't got a gender against him because he works hard, but we were having a go at having Harry Winks and Davis, yeah, and now you got Emerson. He's doing above his level, just above his level, yeah. Mm-hmm. And now we're saying he's the best left back in the world, right back in the world.
Come on, mate. He's the new Sissoko.
It's just annoying me, man. It's just
oh
my God.
Did you
see
Stephen
Carr
post, Alex?
Stephen Carr, Walker. Bloody hell.
Alex, go and watch Emerson's Instagram post when he announced that he got selected for the Brazil squad, right? It's the funniest Instagram post you've ever seen. And that's why I love him. Because the guy doesn't give a shit. He just wants to have a laugh. He's not the best.
Good, but I want trophies. I need trophies.
I know.
You know what I mean? I need trophies.
Let's bring it down, Alex. Let's have some football first.
Yeah,
I want some football as well. Because I ain't liking this, bro. Bloody hell, I can't do it. I can't do him anymore, man. I can't.
It's kind of like you've got a top athlete from a different sport that come in and play, isn't it? I think perhaps he should be an NFL or something like that.
Let me ask Barry. I know you need to go in about 8 minutes or so let me get this in before you need to go. Alex Coover, you all right for a bit, or do you need to go? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, always enjoy wonderful Tottenham talk.
Oh, it's superb. I mean, if you want, we can start talking about some better teams like PSG or something. And Lincoln City, yeah. Well, Stoke battered Sunderland about 5-1, I think, yesterday. We talk about Stoke, the new Antonio Conte team. If he doesn't win against Milan and then we don't beat Forest, does he have to go, Barry, or is it still going to be that, it doesn't matter, we're fourth? At what point is enough, I suppose, is what I'm asking you.
I think if we go out on Wednesday, we lose to Forest, I don't see a way back, really, because we've called, I'm not saying it's the right thing or the wrong, but we've called for other managers in this position, producing this level of football and these results a lot earlier than we would have done with, or a lot earlier than we are with Conte. I I think, if we go and lose, look, Milan get it, but I think if you add that with a losing to Nottingham Forest at home with the worst team with the worst record, and I think then enough will be enough. That will be that stadium on, I think is it Saturday, Sunday? I don't know, whenever it is we play Forest. If that happens, that stadium will be absolutely a horrendous place to be. And that's the other part of the reason I don't want to be there. The only reason I'd go is to go and see Alex or, see everyone. That's the only reason to go. It's not to go and watch the football. It's to go and catch up with people. The best part of the day out at Spurs is the 90 minutes in between where the football's happening. That's not the best part. If that wasn't there, it'd be a fantastic day out. It's all the bits around it. So, I think for me, I would find it very difficult to sit there and say he's going to stay. But look, then after that is 11 games left. So is it going to change anything? No, but I think it's going to be increasingly likely that a decision will be made rather than just letting it peter out until the summer. Or the decision will be, he's just signed a new contract. That's how Tottenham would be, wouldn't it? By the way, we've lost 2 games in a row. Oh, and after the game where we've lost probably 2 or 3-0 or something stupid, there'll be an announcement on the Spurs app, because I've had about 55 of them in the last 24 hours, whether that for whatever reason. Every time I look at my phone, there's another notification from Spurs, and it'll be Antonio Conte signs 5-year contract. You'll literally be like, oh my God.
I just don't think it matters if he gets sacked now or wait till the summer anyway. It's going to be August before we find a new manager anyway, isn't
it? Yeah. I mean, look, guys, I'll be honest, Coover, I'll bring you in here, but I'll be honest. I think Tottenham should be beating Milan and Forest, right? I think we should. So before we lose a game, we win a game and somebody messes me going, oh, you're in the mud. I don't know. Apparently I'm in the mud when we beat teams like Forest. We should be winning those 2 games, right, Coover? This is a very disjointed AC Milan side, right? I've just looked. They lost yesterday to Fiorentina. I looked at the team that they had. It looks like they've got a few players back now from when they played us. They've got Tomori back. They've got Benesa back. Ibrahimovic was back on the bench and he made an appearance. I still think we should be beating both those teams in 4 days. For me, there's no excuse. What about you?
Have you seen us this season?
I
hear you. On paper we're fine. So on grass we always struggle, isn't it? No, we've had a few players that look like they are playing on something anyway. Things like the Forest game. Well, let's face it. In Milan first, no matter what form they're on, they are still a big team. They have got experience of getting results in big matches. This is the sort of one that I could see them turning up to. And if they're not playing well, they'll just shut up shop and we won't be able to break them down. I can see that happening.
Cooper.
Sorry.
Just quickly, that would be this would be entertainment at its best. Bring back Lord Sugar and let's have an apprentice show on hiring a new manager. Each week we see a manager going home in a taxi going, I'll prove you wrong, Daniel Levy. I'll prove you wrong.
I think Daniel Levy's made the wrong decision. Anyway, I'm going to be fine. I've got my career and he'll be regretting that decision.
Oh, come on. That's us 4. We could do it as one of the teams, couldn't we?
Oh, okay.
Get Shawnee in.
What you'll find is that they'll actually, do you know what? We are exactly like The Apprentice, right? Because every year you watch it, right? The first week, the girls are all arguing. The boys come up with some stupid name. Then do you know what I mean? It's literally mirror image.
Team Energize.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally carbon copy. They're like when the managers walk into Daniel Levy's office, it's the same thing every year. It's like, have you not watched the last 15, 20 years of The Apprentice? Have you not seen the last 20 years of Tottenham Hotspur? And then by the end of it, You get the same excuses, the same people going, the same people saying, "Oh, I wish I had more time. I've been let go in this process too early." All of this, that is Tottenham Hotspur. It's the apprentice, and Alan Sugar's sitting there laughing because he's probably thinking, "This is exactly the same. It happens, the selling task. Who's gonna be the best person to be the project manager? Oh, the guy that doesn't sell. Get him as project manager. That's the idea. Who's the best marketing person? We got a marketing task. Oh, we'll give it to the guy that doesn't. This is Tottenham Hotspur. We've cracked it.
Who's going to get the task done of get the naming rights for the stadium? Let's bring in somebody at massive expense and wait 2 years with still nothing. But we got our 4x4 sorted out and molten brang. No worries, mate.
Yeah.
Let's play a game. Everyone in the chat as well.
Wait a minute. Just on that point.
Go on.
Does anybody wonder about? I've forgotten the name's now. It's another Todd, isn't it? Our financial whiz from America. I've forgotten his surname now. But anyway. Does anybody wonder if the amount of money that's coming in from the deals he's got over the line recently actually covers his bloody wages? Because I don't reckon it does.
No, but
we're literally paying him to be worse off.
No, but Kuva, I bet he's got some nice bed sheets. I bet he's got nice bed. His house is painted. He can wash his hands quite a lot.
Right, listen, guys, I'll ask you three in a minute. Everyone in the chat, I'm sure you'll watch The Apprentice. If you had a team name, you have to call your team something, right? The way they do at the beginning, like, team energize or,
velocity.
Team velocity. What? I'll ask you three in a minute. Everyone in the chat, what are you calling your team name on The Apprentice? Kuva, I'm going to come to you first. You're normally quite quick off the bat. And then I'm coming to you, Alex, then you, Nick. Kuva, you've got a team name. What are you calling it on The Apprentice?
It's got to be top 4 or die, hasn't it?
Top 4 or die. What a wonderful name for a TV show.
Or top 4 till I die.
Top 4 till I die. Alex, what would you call your team?
Come back to me.
Oh,
team box. It's team box office. Come on, you don't know. Get to know.
Nick, what are you calling your team?
Oh, fucking hell! Team one for the future. Team for the future.
Team for the future. Team we don't like trophies.
Yeah.
I've got a name. I've got a name now. Professionals, and you know it.
Professionals, and you know it. We've got.
Can you imagine? He goes. Alan Sugar goes, what type of name's that, Alex? The professionals? What? Who came up with that? Alex, I don't know if you know who I am, Alan. I'm Mr. Box Office, the professor of truth and entertainment. And if you don't know, get to know. Back to Karen so she can put you in the mud.
Back to you, Karen. Back to you, Claude.
She'll give you the frozen look, innit? She'll just give me the frozen look.
Yeah, there'll be every time Alex speaks, there'll be the I'll just write that down.
In the chat, we've got To Dare Is To Do FC, the Tottenham Trump Spuds, Team Shit Show, Team Sustainability, the Moisture Makers, Team Disappointment, Team Depression, Team Tossers, Team Conte. Some good ones here. The Spurs Skywalkers, the Chocolate Rockets, Team A Trophy, Team Insanity, Team Boring, To Dare Is Too Dear, Team Delusional, Savva, You Look Like Roberto De Zerbi. I mean, that's brilliant. Let's just chuck that in there. White Cart Lane, Spreadsheet Glory. Oh, my God. Team Mediocrity.
Oh, I've thought of another one as well.
Team 5 at the back.
Another one could have been the team name. Let's See Atrophy.
Let's See Atrophy.
Sorry, a trophy.
Team of Broken Dreams. Team Dire Straits. Everything But Football FC. Team There's Always Next Year. Team Chicken little titles. Oh my God. I'll call my team Dad's Army because the players stay forever. Team Cot Astrophy. Very good. Very good.
Nice.
Team Pocket Hockey. Oh, wow. There's loads. Oh, Barry, do you need to go?
I need to go. I need to. I want to stay now. We got on that apprentice vibes, but
oh God, I love
Alex,
the apprentice.
I'm going to do something, and I will share it with you all tomorrow. Just on that apprentice vibe. Just you're gonna love it, Alex. You're gonna love it. So yeah, but no, big up everyone, and yeah, I guess we'll see what happens on Wednesday and Saturday.
Oh God.
Good luck, Alex. If you're going.
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh,
I'm going. I'm
Cheers,
gonna get
guys.
an idiot.
Thanks
I'm
so
gonna get an idiot calling me saying, "Oh, I'm not a Spurs fan because you're not cheering." Bloody hell! Honestly.
Oh God.
All right, guys. Big up, yeah.
Thanks, Barry. Take care, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Take care. For the first time in an hour and 57, I will say, please smash that like button. We have got 375 in it and only 142 likes. Smash the like button. And anyone that hasn't subscribed, if you could collectively go over and subscribe, that would really help. We're now en route to 4K. We've gone past the 3,500 mark. We're on 3,512 subscribers. Thank you so much to everyone tonight. Smash the like. Please subscribe. Oh, boys, that was funny. It would actually make me watch Spurs more if it was a bit more apprentice-based, guys. You know, why should, even with players, we get players from the lower leagues come in. Why should we hire you? Well, I'm better than bloody Eric Dyer would be my answer. You know, that I'd be brilliant. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. Guys, on a serious note, Milan.
Just thinking of team bottle jobs with a dodgy accountant and an absent manager, but you know, it's a long team name. Isn't it?
The badge is going to have a bottle on it, and that's it. And it's got water in it. No bottle really, and well, no water in it. No bottle in it. So that's it, really, isn't it?
Oh God! Adam Phillip has asked if our ground has got Laser Quest yet. I'm sure it won't be long until there's some sort of, what was it? There was Laser Quest and there was the other one. What was the other one? Do you remember? Anyone in the chat? Quasar. There we go. Quasar and Laser Quest. Yeah. Look, we'll go for another 15 or 20 minutes. Not too long. Look, guys. Milan at home. Is Conte going to be back in the hot seat for this one? Is he back? He's flown back, right? He's in the country. Is that right?
I don't know.
Honestly, who cares?
Yeah, no. I know. But I mean, if he apparently anyone in the chat know, apparently he flew back last night. Or he flew back. Yeah, he flew into the UK last night. If that is the case, are we expecting him back in the dugout for Milan? And Alex, does it make a difference if he's in the dugout for Milan?
Not really. If I'm really honest, I think for me, it seems to me that the guy needs to rest up really before he really goes into it. Really, for me. So I don't know if he will be there. If he is there, I just hope he's doing it for the right reasons going in there right now, because obviously if his health, he needs to take care of his health, doesn't he, really?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think we're still going to do the same tactics and stuff. I think we're going to, and really go, do what we normally do, really. And that's it, really. I don't think it really changes anything at all if he's there or not. So, yeah, I think I don't know if he'll be there. My hunch, I think he might come, knowing him.
Yeah.
So, but really, personally, I don't think he should be there, to be honest, still. And that's really me.
I think said before, one thing I don't think Conte is a coward. I think he will want to be in the dugout as soon as he possibly can. So I think he will probably go against doctor's advice and do it anyway. He's stubborn with everything. He's also proud. So he isn't going to enjoy the fact the team's struggling at the moment with things and getting knocked out of competitions. It definitely hurts him. But can he do anything about it? Is it going to make any difference? Not for me. I think if he does turn up for the first half, by the end of half time, he's probably on a flight back to Italy again.
Yeah, I mean,
all I can think of is half our players are going to be suddenly, got a bit of a muscle strain. I think I'll be missing this one, boss.
I think the thing for me is, guys, one thing that I've wanted to see all season is I want to see a team lineup where we go, oh, that's different. You know, like a different formation or something. And I know it won't come, but I just wonder how long we can keep going on like this. Just quickly, a question from Jay Ashraf who said, question, is Savva with Conte now back at the club? Will that perk up the players for Wednesday? I mean, I can't see what difference it makes. The football hasn't changed. I think lots of people were saying, oh my God, look at the difference with Stellini here and not Conte. But for me, I think the teams we played fit into that perfectly in terms of like Chelsea and West Ham, two teams that don't score goals. I don't see that making a difference for Milan. However, guys, for me, it shouldn't matter who's in the dugout for Milan. We're at home. It's a Champions League night under the lights. Surely like somebody said in the chat that they watched the Fiorentina Milan game and that Fiorentina went at them. Fiorentina attacked. That's what we need to do from the off. That's what we were doing in Champions League games under Redknapp and Potts.
Oh, we got no chance then.
The attack.
Yeah.
Oh.
One thing we aren't going to do, isn't it? I'll just, it's just going to be more of the same. I'm not going to bother watching it, to be honest.
You're not going to watch it?
Nah.
You will. You will.
Emerson will be in the team as well. Like, so I think it's going to be very more defensive. I think it's going to be a really boring game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I'm going, but I'm going to struggle with that one, to be honest. I'm going to struggle. Like,
I'm still going for a 0-0. I think they're just going to know how to shut up shop. They'll just put 3 players on Harry Kane, and that's it, all over.
I think we'll win, but it's not because we're a good team. I just think that AC Milan are beatable in that sense, but hopefully we'll get back to reality when we get another draw. I couldn't, but I just after watching AC Milan against us last time, I wasn't really impressed at all. I thought we were average, but we're not that great.
Alex, surely at home we'll. I mean, look, we've got to remember we're 1-0 down, right? All they need is 1 goal, and then we need 3 on the night to win.
The away goals don't count now, do they?
Okay, but even them, two goals. If they scored 1 and we got 2, it's still a draw. Unless we're going to penalties outright, we'd need 3 goals on the night. I just don't know if we can. I think we should. I genuinely think we will beat Milan. It's just whether or not we can beat them by enough.
You just said a key word there, penalties. That would be the way to drag out the excruciating pain, wouldn't it?
Penalty shootout on a Wednesday
I hope
night.
it's not penalties because I'm going to be there. So I don't think I can stay if it's cold.
Just imagine really dire, boring game. We snatch an equalising goal in the final minute, take it to extra time, boring as hell for the whole half hour, and then grinding penalty shootout that we just throw away. I'm going for that.
Wouldn't it be lovely though, guys, to just for once turn up 2-3-0, attack them, make them have to come out, because we all know what they're going to do, right? I think every man and their dog knows Milan are going to come and they're going to set up and say, break us down.
Yep.
And that is where Spurs normally go, how? Like you said, they're going to make sure that someone is sitting on Harry Kane, like the way that, from what I watched yesterday, they made sure Lamina was tucked in and sitting in on Harry Kane. Get a couple of early goals, make Milan have to come and play so we can go in behind. That would be my message. But knowing Conte's message, it will be stay tight, stay compact, don't concede early. But
yeah, we play with fear, don't we? I'm absolutely convinced of it. So I think there's going to be this fear of committing to the attack because we're so fragile at the back otherwise. I mean, you would say we're playing to defensively because otherwise we concede goals, but we concede goals anyway.
Yeah.
So it's all pointless. Might as well have a go. But yeah, I agree. This is exactly what I see Milan doing. Sitting back, 2 banks of 5, and they'll just say, throw it at us. What have you got? All they've got to do is just tightly mark Kane. It's all over because we've got nothing else. It's set pieces, free kicks, corners, and maybe Dyer comes up to join him on an attack, and maybe he could score with a header. That might be an option. Or Kane.
Yeah.
I don't see anything otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, just quick question. I'll ask you guys this as well. Anybody? We're going to go for another 10 minutes or so. Get questions in, and we'll go through them. Please smash the subscribe button if you can. Alex, Kevin has said, what do you guys think the score would be across 2 legs if we sneak through and draw Bayern Munich in the next round?
Oh, Bayern Munich. We're getting beaten. We're getting
10-0.
We're getting beaten.
I genuinely think.
I don't think it's gonna be 10-0, but
Alex,
I think it's gonna. I think we're gonna get beaten. I think we'll score, but I think maybe. Okay, I'm going to be shameless. It's 5-1. 5-1 Bayern Munich. Sorry.
Over 2 legs?
10-0.
10?
I'm not kidding. I could see them smashing 7 past us.
Yeah, I could see it being something like 7-2 over 2 legs. I could just see that at their ground, we would absolutely get torn apart. Joe has said, someone watching us, I can't remember. I'm struggling myself, man, to think of a game where I last went, yeah, that is why I watch football. Well, I can think of it, but it wasn't watching Spurs. I can't remember.
The 6-2 against Leicester was enjoyable, but that's purely because of the goals, isn't it? The actual style wasn't great. Leicester were the better team for most of that match.
Yeah. When will Conte leave? Louis has said, I genuinely think now we're looking at the end of the season. I can't, to be fair, as much as I don't want the guy at the club, I don't see the point in him leaving any time between now and the end of the season. I don't know what would change. I think it would just be yet more of a circus at this club if he was to leave now. And then we've got the whole who's going to come in for 12 games and let him see it out. And then what I don't want to see, guys, the thing that worries me, I was having this chat today with someone, is when his contract does run out, what I don't want to see is that the first 4, 5, 6 weeks of the summer are spent will he, won't he, just for him to then either sign or not. And then we're now 6, 7 weeks into a transfer window.
You know that's going to happen, though, Savva. Yeah. You know it's going to happen, Savva. You said it. You said it now. You said it now, and you know it's going to happen. Because I so wish I had a YouTube channel when we were going so mad about that debacle about the manager, getting that manager in. I so wish I did my YouTube channel then. I really wish, because I wouldn't have gone flipping mad, honestly, because I was like, Brian, honestly, I was so bad, but I can see it. I can literally see it. Yeah. And I can't. Now you said it now, I think it's going to happen. But I'll tell you now for a fact, yeah? I'll tell you now. If he goes, yeah, and Paratici's still there, bet your money on it. Sarri comes in, absolutely 100%.
Sarri,
yeah,
Sarri,
could be,
absolutely.
And that would show completely that this director of football has no idea what any of the fans and the club want or need, wouldn't it? If that is the case. Just quickly, sorry, I
was just going to say, I wouldn't even. We had this conversation before, but I wouldn't even rule out Gattuso, just despite how unpopular it will be with fans.
I agree. Nothing. Mark, listen, I'll be honest. I know Alex wants him back. I know you do. I just don't want this guy back. I don't at all. I feel like I genuinely feel. I don't know what you guys think. Him coming back to the club at this stage, for me, would just show an absolute sign of weakness from Pochettino. After looking at this club, going, hang on, they sacked me. Davis is still there, Dyer's still there, Sanchez still there, Tanganga, Sessegnon, Skip, Luke. Do you know what I mean? For me, it would show a sign of weakness on his behalf. That's only my opinion.
Nothing coming through the academy and no money to sign anybody either.
Right.
It's like, why would he want to come here and shoot himself in the face?
Yeah. I just, What I can't understand, Alex, is, and I know you like him, and that is, I feel like everyone thinks this guy coming back, it will be like the first time. And the first time he was here, we did have a playmaker in Eriksen. We did have Walker and Rose in the squad. We did have Vertonghen and Dembele and Harry Kane. There was a basis to build off. Now I look at it and I go, who's a Poch type player in this squad? What's he building off?
Udogie and Porro. He's
got to start all over again. He can't use these players anymore. He can't use these players anymore, and he's got to make that clear. If he's making it clear to them and they're not listening to him, don't come to Tottenham. Yeah, he's got to say to them. He's got to say to them, this has got to be ripped up. Yeah, meaning Kane, Son need to go. Yeah, and all the other players need to go. Dyer, Davis need to go. Yeah, he's not going to be able to work with these players anymore. And if he's coming and also the backroom staff need to look at managers like Poch. Like I said in my video, they need to look at managers like Poch. So when it goes stale, or if he goes somewhere else, you've got somebody in to just take over and move it on from there, and that's it. And that's what we need to be doing. I don't think it will happen, but that's my logic. Because at the moment, we're in the mud anyway. So going back to Poch won't make no difference anyway for me. But we need to start ripping it up all over again. But if Poch goes back to Levy and says, I want to come back, and then tells him what he wants to do, like I've said now, and he doesn't want to do what he wants, sorry, to say to him, sorry, I can't do it. Because it ain't going to work. Because he can't work with Dyer anymore. He can't work with Kane anymore. And he can't work with Son anymore. And he can't work with half of that squad anymore. Simple as that, he can't.
Would we want Poch back to play a wing-back formation? Would we want him back to do this?
No, but like I said, he needs to rip the whole thing up. That's what I'm saying. And this is on the promise that Paratici goes as well. That's the whole point I'm making. It has to be all ripped apart now because it's not working. And that's it. If Paratici's still here, though, I don't see Poch coming back. No way. Absolutely no way. It wouldn't work.
It's going to be another pragmatic manager, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely 100%. So I'm not saying it because I want him back. It's just that I couldn't put a name to it at the end of the day because at the end of the day, De Zerbi's too soon, and I've heard that he moves about a lot, an awful lot. Yeah, rumours wise. Yeah. Rodgers, I'm still not sure about whether he'll come to Tottenham. Potter will be a good option for me because of what he's done before. Okay, and I'm not laughing at him because he's at Chelsea, because Chelsea are a completely different team to, us at the end of the day. What was it? Nagelsmann, but he's not going to come to Tottenham from Bayern Munich, isn't he? The squad, what was it? Guardio, I think it is. Argentinian. Gallardo. I don't know a lot about him, but if Danny's talking about him, Danny knows a lot, even though he's deluded. I think
Bielsa was his mentor, so it's the sort of football that's going to go with it.
Well, I do trust Danny with what he says sometimes. Well, he's still deluded, but he's still my boy. But still, I still trust him on what he says anyway on that one. So I could go with what he's saying, yeah, but I don't know a lot about him anyway. But this is where we
in the delusion.
Yeah. But it's just that what we need to be doing is doing the research like Brighton have done. I'm sorry, the way that Brighton have done things, even what Leeds did, even what Leicester have done, we should be doing that. We should be doing this. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Look, Alex, one of the things I always think about as well is when people talk a lot about Poch. Look, Poch has had 6 years at this club, right? My worry is if you bring back Poch and you have him for 3-4 years, and he doesn't win anything, he's then responsible for a decade of Tottenham Hotspur. And I just feel like what he did the first time does lightning strike twice. I'm not saying he won anything. We know he didn't get over the line. But in terms of what he built or moulded from what he had, does lightning strike twice? That's my worry with going back.
I think he'd do really well at this club. Just need a new owner and some players.
Maybe.
I think he did well. I think he did well with that squad because I think there was players there that were underachieving. Yeah, I never thought of the season that we were going to have after that season. I didn't even want Poch in the first place. I wanted De Boer. I wanted De Boer. So I think for me, he changed a lot around and changed a lot the opinion around as well. I think he did very, very well with the circumstances as well. Yes, I think the problem is, Savva, is that when you're a manager that's up and coming, okay, you haven't got the power to start saying, pushing your weight about. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing with Poch. I don't think you could push your weight about it too much.
But hang on. But we're seeing right now, Antonio Conte's not an up and comer. Antonio Conte's a manager that's won league titles everywhere he's been, and we're seeing he's got no power.
Well, that's his fault.
But what does it matter? What does it matter?
Yeah, but the point is, I'm making that's his fault though, because the whole Spence thing was his fault in that sense, because he should have said no. Danjuma, that's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
Well, I feel for Danjuma. I feel really sorry for him.
I feel so sorry for him, but it's embarrassing.
I agree.
You know what I mean? He could have gone Everton and got football, done some football, but it's embarrassing. Moore is coming on before him, and he's going at the end of the season. I'm sorry, it's embarrassing. He should have not taken that signing. And the thing is, though, he's the winner, so he should have said, no, I don't want him. Sorry. If you're going to do that, I'm walking, I'm done. That's not what I signed up for.
Just quickly, I want to watch this. Look, in the main, I agree with this, Paul. In the main, I agree that most of his signings weren't good. But however, you know, when I look at four that spring to mind immediately, would it be Heung-min Son? Yeah. Victor Wanyama. Toby Alderweireld. Dele Alli. They're not bad, those four. Look, I think we could do this game with a lot of Spurs managers, right? Where we could look.
I never like doing this because when you got director of football, you can rule out it just being the manager's choice, can't you?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. We could do this with everyone. Again, I do this right now with Paratici. 17 signings, 3 of them are regular starters.
Listen, I stick by what I say. Pochettino should have never got sacked that time. Yeah, he should have got sacked either before the season started, after he got to the Champions League final, or at the end of the season. He deserved that. You know what I mean? And we should have looked at research on getting managers like Poch. There were managers out there like Poch. You know what I mean? But we didn't do it, and I think that's the thing. That's why I looked at it. That's why I had enough. That's when I had enough.
It's like when you get close to winning something, you've got something to build on. You just push further. We did the opposite. Sack him, go for a complete rebuild in a totally different style. It's disaster, and then we just have to do it again and again. I think
Conte and Paratici going, Kuva, is what we're saying. It needs to be bugged.
It has to be.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I had enough. I had enough after that, Savva. Me and you were having battles before, weren't we? Like, we didn't agree. I couldn't stand it. I was literally, and I should have stuck to my guns. Because people were saying to me, oh, you're just a Poch guy. You love it. You love him too much. I'm like, well, no, because I know it's not going to work. Because I've seen it so many times. That was when I was like, sorry, we're not serious. We're not serious because we've done it 3 times now. And that's it. And that's why I'm saying right now, I can see why people are saying that, I'm too downhearted. Well, I'm going to do different content. I'm just going to do different content that's not reactive anymore. And that's not because you are saying that to me. I'm saying to you, I'm bored of saying the same thing because I'm repeating what I'm saying. Nothing against you, Savva, because you're the boy. You're my boy. But my point is that I'm saying the same thing that I said before. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to change. Nothing will change with this club. And like I said, I'm not learning nothing. I feel sorry for the young people. You know what I mean? I've got Dan, who's a good young lad, good young American young lad, talking about leaving when he should be having dreams about winning leagues, seeing good football and everything else. And all these Bob down to is he's talking about leaving. He's 15 years old. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. Kids should be talking about Daniel Levy and having a go at Daniel Levy. Should be having a love watching, seeing their stars and talking about their stars and stuff like that. David Ginola, all these stars and everything else. Not talking about Daniel Levy. What's that all about? Come on.
Alex, I agree, which is why I get so frustrated with the world of YouTube now, where it seems like every debate needs to, like tonight, we have not talked about the owners really, right? We've not gone in depth about the owners because they're the people that are the hardest to get rid of in any company, right? And I love this. I love this fantasy idea that we'll all get a few placards and they'll leave. But you're right, Dan. He is a good lad. Yeah, I like a lot of what he says. But at the age of 14, he should not be worrying about who is in charge of the football club. He should be watching, like you said. When I was, I mean, I was probably a bit older than 14, but I was watching players like Sheringham and Anderton and Barmby and Dumitrescu and Ginola and these, and I was like, oh, this is wonderful football. I wasn't worried at that time about Sugar being the owner because I was of that age. But again, that's been drummed into Dan. That's been drummed into him, unfortunately, which I think is wrong because for me, look, we're older and cynical, right? I'm an old cynical git when it comes to this. I want the owners out, but you know what? I don't want to make my entire football conversation about owners because at the heart of it, I'm still a football fan, right? I have no say in who the owners are. I have no say in who the manager is. I have no say in on which look. Do I have a say in which striker we're going to sign when Kane goes?
Trouble is, everything's under the microscope now, isn't it? Everything's under the cameras and social media. I mean, when I was growing up, wouldn't have had the faintest idea who the fitness coach is at the club.
Agreed.
Not the faintest idea. If there was a director of football, I wouldn't have known who it was. Was there such a thing? I don't know. I don't know who would have been making the signings. I don't even know half the sponsors. As you said, Savva, it's right. We should be concentrating on what's happening on the pitch. The trouble is, what's happening on the pitch with us at the moment is fuck all. So that's all there is to talk about. How angry you are about and who to blame. So fix it.
Listen, I agree. I just do feel it is a shame. Some of the younger fans should be talking about football, right? When we were let's be fair, Kuva. When we were growing up, how many conversations down the pub? I always said down the pub when you're talking, having banter with your mates. How many of those conversations were about respective owners of both clubs? I don't ever remember having conversations about Sugar, about Scholar. I just remember talking about, oh my God, you see Gaza, you see what he did, you see Paul Stewart. Yeah. I remember that. I don't remember this whole, well, you're a terrible fan if you like the owners and that kind of stuff. I just wish football would go back to, let's talk about football. Yeah, listen, I'll say this. I'm gonna wrap the show up, but I just want to say, listen, I'd love the owners to go. You guys know I would. I'd love the owners to go. If I wake up tomorrow morning and it says breaking news on Sky, Spurs sell 4.5 billion to Qatari bid or French, I don't care the nationality, by the way. I'm in dreamland. But you know what? I can't control that, right? I can't control it, and I'm not going to make it the main focus of my debate every time Tottenham Hotspur play a game of football. You're on mute, Alex. You're on mute. I've never ever known, right? I've never known so many I've never known a fan base that every time we lose a game talk about the owners. Every single time. Yes, the club is run badly from that point of view, but no, not every defeat is based on the owners. Yeah. I'm just getting a little bit.
Listen, it's not against Dan because Dan is a lovely guy. No, I make it my business not to say anything, but because the thing is though, he says to me, "Yeah, Alex, you should have a go at me." It's like, no, Dan, like you're young, like you should be able to think what you're thinking at the moment. Because when I was young, people didn't say anything to me. You know what I mean? And it's not right for me to say that you're wrong. It's just not right at all. You know what I mean? So that's the moral side of Mr. Box Office. Alex, if you want to know, you know what I mean? Because Alex and Mr. Box Office know that there's morals in this game, you know what I mean? And I'm sorry, that the guy is very good for his age. You know what I mean? I've got to give it to him. You know what I mean? But yeah, sure. But for me hearing him on the football terrace yesterday, it just felt like I just felt so bad that he's got to sink to that. It's something to so much about Daniel Levy. He's not. enjoying the whole thing about the football side. You know what I mean? And the whole Levy thing is so sucked into him at the moment that he can't enjoy what football should be all about, the players and how we play, and enjoying that, you know what I mean? That side of things, you know what I mean? And that's what this whole thing is sucked into now for the young people now, and it's sad. It's really sad. Got to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, it is football. At the end of the day, it's football, and it should be fun, and it should be, it should be, we all have a moan and we all have a rant.
The word I used to describe the football we used to play when I was growing up, swashbuckling. Imagine that being used about a team that we've got now.
Yeah. Yeah. But there are fans, look, again, as I've said, there are fans that don't care about that side of it, Kuva. They just want Conte because they see him as a winner. I don't want Conte because I don't ever want my football club to play this football. I will not sacrifice watching football. Not that we've won a cup, but I will not sacrifice this football for a cup. Now, Kuva, you and I have been told all season, what will you say, though, if we win a cup playing this style? Well, I think we've just proven that that's not going to happen, isn't it? Like, it's not going to happen. Show me some football.
For example, back in the end of the 90s, winning the League Cup there, bloody dreadful game. We won a trophy, but there's no way in hell you could pay me to rewatch that game. It was god awful. Yet again, looking at the other way round, 1987, we had a fantastic team with Hoddle and Waddle in it, Ardiles, Clive Allen banging in 49 goals. We had some great footballers, great style of play. One of the most exciting teams I've ever seen us put out. Yeah. We lost that final, but I could happily watch it again. It was good.
And now we don't even get to finals and we're watching crap football. But look, guys, we could do this all night. I am going to end there. Listen, first of all, thank you. We've had over 350 people the whole time. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I try and read out as many comments and put as many comments up as possible. So, look, thank you very much for everything. Alex, thank you very much. Kuva, thank you very much. We'll be back during the week, I'm sure, guys. Everyone in the chat, if you haven't subscribed, please do. We're chasing down 4K now. Just the 489 to go. We'll get to 4K. Much love. See you soon, and we are out.